When those Friday nights roll around and the talk of the town is high school football, all seems right in a world gone wrong. But when those special matchups that will be talked about for decades come around, the stakes are raised, the chips put all the way in the center because those games truly mean that much more. And tonight is one of these nights that just means more. A young and relentless Crusader Alliance makes the short trip down the 107 cutoff as the Chucky-Doak Black Knights look to bounce back after being handed its first loss of the season. But the task will be tall tonight indeed. The relentless Rebels look to continue their rampant rushing attack and impose their will on home turf. What about those stakes? With a win tonight, that coveted County Cup will be picked up, dusted off, and find itself a new home for the first time in 3 years. It's Chucky-Doak, it's South Greene, it's a Nola-Chucky River ruction atop Rebel Hill, and it all starts next right here on First Horizon Green Sports Zone.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
Tommie's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommie's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommie's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
Whether you ride, haul, or work, CNC has what moves you from dirt roads to job sites. We've got the gear to get you there. Hard-working equipment, helpful people, and honest advice. Whether you haul tools, toys, or livestock, CNC Custom Trailers has the equipment you need and the upgrades you want. CNC Custom Trailers, where you're more than just a customer, you're a neighbor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you to Rebel Hill here in Southern Greene County for this Chucky-Doak South Greene matchup on a Friday night. Non-region, non-classification even. It doesn't matter. It's a rivalry game here. All the stakes on the line tonight. Winner clinches a share at least of the County Cup, the first time it's been available in 3 years, and we have it all for you here tonight. Our pregame coverage starts here in this Heritage Community Bank pregame show, and Chris Sauceman, our quarterback of the broadcast tonight, the best dressed man in Greene County, Derek Charlton, our producer, and on camera, Scott Anthony, Matthew Plaza here, elevated field side to deliver you what should be a tremendous game here tonight. Chris, overall, just feelings going into this rivalry game, another great showdown between two in-county schools tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking super forward to this game. It's probably been one of the more exciting games I've looked forward to this season. We've got a young Chucky-Doak team who's pretty well shocked us every game that they've come into. And then South Greene last week, man, they blew the waters away.
Well, the youth has certainly been evident for the Chucky-Doak side. It hasn't come without their bumps, and we learned that last week in that loss against Unicoi County. Black Knights get served their first loss of 2025. South Greene, however, after getting a bump early in the road, have reeled off 3 straight wins, and they are running all over opponents while that defense just keeps looking better and better. And I think a lot of the talk of the town is, hey, when these two teams get together, it's one of the closest contested. It's one of the most physical. It's the best back and forth out of all the county v. county matchups. I'm just excited to see what's in store for tonight's matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got a lot of kids that want to go out and prove something. You talk about Chucky-Doak, they're trying to bounce back from that loss from last week. They had some really good things to take out of that second half going into this week. And so I think they're looking really forward to go on the road and take away a win.
Well, a ton of matchups to get to tonight, namely that one happening over in Baileyton right now in that Cosby and North Greene game. Cosby, the reigning Region 1 Single-A champions, and they'll have a tall task in that Huskies team, also looking to bounce back after a loss last week. But we'll get to that in a moment. Also, West Greene on the road tonight against Eagleton Academy. Greenville will hit the road as well. They head to Bluff City. They'll face off against the Sullivan East Patriots. Is it the Patriots?
I believe so.
I believe it's the Patriots. We'll roll with it. I get them and Jeff County confused so often. But anyways, we're going to get into all those matchups and more, including the one between Chucky-Doak and South Greene, this being the 51st all-time meeting between the two schools. Chucky-Doak, not a great showing last year, 58-14 loss against the Rebels. It's a series in which, to be completely honest with you, South Greene has dominated as of late, winning 6 of the last 7. They got a 3-game winning streak dating back to 2022. So, having met every year since 1975, a lot of history between these two teams, a lot to play for here tonight, but namely that coveted County Cup. First, we're going to hear from West Greene head coach Evan Monroe as he sat down and talked with our Tyler Nichols earlier this week about their matchup tonight against Eagleton Academy. Here's what Coach Monroe had to say.
So you travel back up to Maryville this weekend, or this week, on Friday night to play
Just
Eagleton.
go straight to break. Hey Scott, we're on the Monroe interview right now. We're gonna go straight to break, so we got about 6 to 8 minutes here of time to kill, I guess. Copy that.
Placed in the state tournament. He's a big, huge physical kid. Their offensive line's a good sized group. They've got a tackle that I swear he's probably 6'6", 6'7". Just big, huge kid. They've got some little athletes out on the edge that can run. So, we've got our work cut out for us this week. We've got a lot of things to correct and a lot of things to fix. But I think we got a shot if we can, fix some mistakes that we saw last week. That's what I've kind of preached to our guys. Hey, we see these mistakes as we come across mistakes that are fixable, we're trying to fix them each week. Eagleton, they love different tight end sets. They move 44 around. Sometimes they'll have 2 backs. Sometimes it's single back. Sometimes it's, they'll have 3 wide receivers and a tight end on the backside. Sometimes it's 2 wide receivers, tight end on the front, receiver over here. Sometimes it's doubles with a tight end. Sometimes they'll back him up and let him play sniffer and pull him. So they do a lot of different offensive things to try to. Really, I think they want to run the football like we do. Maybe not as often as we do. They've got a quarterback that can throw pretty decent, so they do like to throw it out there to their weapons and let them go make a play. So our corners have got some work to do this week to keep getting better, and I think our front seven's got to work out for them to try to slow that run down. Defensively, I think they're hard to get a look at because the 2 teams that I've got film on them from, one was Providence, and Providence was an empty 5 wide most of the game. And then the next game I get is Sullivan East, who's an air raid team. So the two teams that I'm scouting their defense for could not be further philosophies from what we do here.
Yeah.
It just could not be much different. So you've got, Sullivan East dropping back in the air raid, throwing the ball, 40 times a game, and then you've got Providence, who was in empty 5 wide most of the game. So for defense, it's kind of hard to get a feel on how they'll align to us. I think we'll end up getting like a 5-2 look, maybe even like a split 4 cover 3 look. Maybe you never really. It's hard to tell how teams will line up to us if you don't have something to reference it to. So, for us, this offensive line this week, we'll look at a couple different fronts and see, hey, this is how we got to block this week. They've got a great kicker, kicks the hound out of the football. But they're a big physical group up front, and I expect them to try to run the ball. Let's see what we can do with them.
Another point of emphasis real quick, too, before I ask the final question. It's no longer a region game.
No.
They are now Region 2. They
Yes.
moved over this past year's
Yes.
realignments and reclassifications. So it is no longer a region game.
No.
So that is one thing that is not in effect, but nonetheless, still a great non-region game against great competition.
You know, they were in our region the past 2 years, and then when realignment happened, they got kind of in the same boat we're in. They had to find 7 non-conference games. They're in a 14 region just like we are.
Yeah.
So when you've got to find 7 non-conference games,
You've almost got to make a whole schedule.
I mean, I'm handed 3 games and said, here's your 3 games that TSSAA schedules. You find the other 7. Well, all the Region 1 single A teams are now, the rest of their games from this point on are region games because there's 8 teams in that conference. So couldn't schedule any of them other than the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I've got a couple 3A guys, but this could be a playoff preview game. We could end up seeing them again week
You're
11
right, yeah.
in the playoffs. I don't really know how their region's going to end up shaking up, but they have all the makings of being a region champion, or finishing pretty high up there. And, you know, so this could be a preview of a playoff game. So it's a good feeler game for us to see how we stack against Region 2 opponents. So that's kind of why I scheduled this one. One, it's a bus ride, kind of get us used to a long bus ride for if we have to go on the road for playoffs. And then and again, I just had to find 7 games. It was hard. It was a nightmare trying to find 7 games because you call people and they're like, well, I can't this week. I've got region this week. I got a region game. And you're like, okay. So kind of had to, he was in the same boat. He called me. He was like, you want to play again? He said, I got to find 7 games. I was like, me too. I said, yeah, we'll make that trip. He's like, cool. So we ended up playing each other again this year. Now it's just kind of how that happened. I wanted to kind of throw that scheduled thing out there. But
Looking for a garage door without the long wait? At D&D Garage Door Supplier of Greenville, you'll find Safeway brand garage doors delivered in just 9 business days. Why wait 4 to 6 weeks when your new door could be rolling up sooner? They're your one-stop shop with over 25 years of experience, offering doors, parts, installs, and openers, including LiftMaster motors, overheads, and side mounts. Dealers, go check them out. They've got everything you need to get the job done right. Stop by 107 Bohannon Avenue or call 423-278-0622. D&D Garage Door Supplier. Reliable, trustworthy, and opening doors for you every day.
My dad was born here in 1933. The Terry family has been around East Tennessee since that time, almost 100 years now. Over the past 25 years of my career, I've had the opportunity to represent East Tennesseans all over the country. When we say, let our family help your family, we mean that. That is something we live by here at the Terry Law Firm. You have my word that we will represent your family just like you're part of our family.
Once again, and welcome back here from Rebel Hill. Chris Osman, Matthew Palazzo, Derek Tarleton, our producer for the night, and Scott Anthony on camera. Chris, talking about a matchup here tonight, a cross-county rivalry. Obviously, the County Cup up for grabs. Just so much at stakes, and it feels like these matchups, they keep getting more physical year after year, and especially when you got two teams who have transitioned in recent years to more run-heavy teams. What goes into that physicality tonight to make, I guess, the winning side come out on top?
Yeah, I think you have to bring your A game tonight. You have no room really for a lot of errors, and you've got to be able to come in fresh, ready to hit the ground running early on in the game. You can't wait until the second half. We saw that last week with Chucky-Doak. They kind of waited that first half, got behind. So tonight they got to come and hit the ground running from the first play, and just play physical football from the first snap to the last one.
Well, two offenses that certainly have the capabilities to put up high scoring totals. So we'll see what becomes of that, and especially how the defenses are going to handle things here tonight. But I could be more excited to get into things. We just heard from West Greene head coach Evan Monroe. Of course, Buffalo's heading to Eagleton Academy, looking for their first win here in 2025. And then a team who was here last week who tasted the sour taste of defeat was Eric Tilson's crew over in Baileyton. The Huskies get handed a 56-7 loss against the South Greene Rebels, and a South Greene Rebel offense that was just rolling. 556 total yards of offense, 400 on the ground. Do we expect to see something similar tonight against this Chucky-Doak defense, who gave up a lot of points last week?
Yeah, I think so. You're going to see the run game come out early on, and, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you score 400 rushing yards last week, I don't see why you wouldn't put the ball back on the ground this week.
Well, we're going to see how North Greene can rebound, and to help us kind of get a better picture of that North Greene-Cosby matchup, it's going to be a fun one over in Region 1 Single A. That game also broadcasted on 103.1 FM WIKQ. It is our county game of the week. Brian State and Coach Carter are going to give you the call for that one, kickoff at 7 o'clock. But Coach Tilson going to let you know a little bit more about the opponent in the Eagles of Cosby, and we got to sit down and talk with him earlier this week. Here's Coach Tilson.
You got a big-time matchup this week. You got the Cosby Eagles walking into Baileyton again for a matchup on the Tundra. Last week, as we mentioned before the break, it was in Week 11, and it decided who the Region 1 1A champions would be. This year, you've got them in Week 5. From here on out, it's all region games. Your non-region games are behind you. It is insane that from Week 5 to Week 10, it's all region games now. You've got your second one of the year, arguably one of the most important games with Cosby on Friday night. What's the game plan going into Friday night's matchup?
It just comes down to kind of what our 3 keys to victory are. It's like we got to get the ball to our playmakers in space and let them do their thing. When we've done that, we've been successful. So that going into this one, this is a big one to do it, kind of getting back to basics and not trying to overdo things, kind of let the movement be bigger than what it is. This is a regular season matchup in the middle of the year. And that's what this has to be, is when we just go out and play and just kind of play North Greene football, we'll be fine. We got to make sure we're aligned properly, make sure that we're able to fit leverage correctly defensively, and then we got to take advantages offensively where they give it to us. They're a very aggressive defense. They run the same stuff they've been doing the past 3 years. They're 3-3 stack, cover 3 outlook, and they bring a whole lot of pressure, and they are very multiple in their pressure. So our front has to be ready to have a good ball game, and that was the difference last year, was the front, and our front guys know that they've got to step up and come out and go execute really well. If we execute really well, we got a shot to come out and do this thing. So. Of course, graduation has hit both teams.
Yeah.
So like that kind of equals out. They're good players, and then some of our playmakers from last year. So that's out. So it's like, okay, well, they lost this kid. Well, we lost our kids, but we're got kids in our senior class this year that flat out play, and we got a bunch of old guys. So I think our kids will be ready to go this week. So far, we've had a couple great days of practice. Just everybody locked in. A lot of the corrections we needed to make, we've made so far already, and our kids are ready to go. We've got a lot of distractions this week in terms of homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
And as a coach, I don't know why. It seems like every big game we have here, it's always homecoming. And
what was last year's?
Well, it's first home game of the year.
Okay, so you got it out of the way last year.
Yep. So got it out early. So this year, that's why, because our next home game is after fall break.
Okay,
so
wow, that's a long ways.
It's a pretty good ways off. So this is about the only option we had. But it's a lot of distractions. So getting our kids back ready, focused in on what they're supposed to do during practices. And they've done a really good job of that. So we always have a meeting starting off, kind of get everybody refocused, watch film. Then we'll either lift, we'll get out on the field and go to work from there. And they've done a real good job of refocusing what they need to do. And we've had a couple really good days, and which is good because this weekend, like, okay, you got about 24 hours with the previous game, and then you got to flush it, move on, and our kids have been able to do that. When you got an old team, typically they're able to do that. So a lot of times younger guys, they're the ones that kind of hold on to stuff, and they haven't learned. Like, you lost a high school football game. Okay, let's move on. So our kids are ready for the challenge, and we've got to stop the run this week. They return a very good running back, and they kind of got two running backs. Both of them play. One of them plays like their H-back. One of them plays running back, and they switch positions. And both of them, one's a really big load. Like it takes about 5 guys to tackle him. He bounces off people. One is the one that had a good game against us last year. He's talented running back and run a lot of inside zone. So with inside zone, you're counting on your running back to be right a lot. And he does a real good job of filling out where the open gaps are, and he gets vertical quickly. So we have to take care of that. They returned their quarterback, who was the offensive player of the year last year, and very talented kid, can run the ball, obviously throw the ball very well. So we've big thing defensively is lining up correctly, make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, and then we're at the point of attack. We got to make sure we tackle well, leverage correctly. If we do that, then give our offense possessions, I think we'll go down and score like we're supposed to. We've last couple years we've struggled offensively, but I think it's time for us to open it up, and we got the kids to do it.
In Greenville, we blend beauty with Southern charm.
From sharp cuts to flawless color and perfect extensions, we make dream hair real.
As milkshake experts, we deliver exclusive treatments, glosses, and pro product advice. Finish your look with nails and waxing done with care.
Relax and recharge with our signature Japanese head spa.
Come experience the Main Brand difference.
At the Main Brand Hair Company,
we wrangle your tangles.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect: games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected: low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at GatewayNissanGreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
And we welcome you back to the Heritage Community Bank kickoff show. Chuckey-Doak, South Greene, just about 20 minutes away from opening kickoff here atop Rebel Hill, a sun-soaked Rebel Hill at that. Chris Sauceman joining me for this pregame coverage. Chuckey-Doak also looking to get back in the win column here tonight. A big matchup on hand. The County Cup up for grabs. A lot of bragging rights up for grabs as well. But a lot of interesting matchups going on across the region, not just the one that we just heard about in that North Greene Cosby game. That's certainly going to have some implications in Region 1 Single A. But, Chris, a couple matchups that caught your eye on this Friday night.
Yeah, I looked for a few that really stuck out, and the biggest one for me was Elizabethton versus Cherokee. Elizabethton, we always know is a pretty well-rounded team. They played some really tough teams, and they came out 2-1 against them. And then Cherokee, they're 4-0. They've shocked a little people, scoring 45 points a game. And so I'm really looking forward to see, can that Cherokee offense continue to compete with the big dogs with Elizabethton. Another one to look out for is my favorite team, Sunbright.
Yes, big Sunbright fans here.
Yeah, going up against Oakdale. They both have played Jellicoe. Sunbright took the loss by 6. Oakdale came on top by 27. However, Oakdale's not scored in their last 2 games and given up 60 points both those games. So it's going to be really interesting to see, can Oakdale get back on the scoreboard, and can Sunbright bring out a win there.
And Oakdale, a 6A school, so a rare 1A versus 6A matchup here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And another one that was kind of fun to look out for, Hancock versus Unaka. They're both 0-4. They've yet to bring out a win, and Hancock gives up 45 points a game, and Unaca's given up 60 points a game so far this season. So it'll be interesting, can the offenses come alive against those defenses? And then my alma mater plays Dobbins Bennett up in Kingsport, and I don't see much out of Morristown East there. That game's probably going to be a pretty big blowout.
The Chris Osman Fighting Canes looking to get back in the win column. They did have a win earlier this season against the home team tonight in South Greene on this very field. So maybe something, if you're Chucky-Doak, you look at and you're like, hey, that's a coaching staff that used to coach here in Lower Afton. Maybe we can gain some confidence in that. Maybe they got some insider information from Coach K, Coach Sloan, all those coaches up there in Morristown. So with that being said, we're going to move into this matchup portion of our pregame show. Look at these teams in particular. We talked about West Greene and North Greene's matchup. Now let's focus on the matchup at hand. First, we're going to listen from Chucky-Doak head coach Billy Kaler in what he expects from this South Greene matchup here tonight. So it should be a good one. Here's what Coach Kaler had to say earlier this week.
You were in Lower Afton this past week. Now you're going out to, still Greenville, out to Rebel Hill to play the South Greene Rebels. It's a big game this Friday night. It's got a lot of implications. It's got some County Cup implications on the line, which I know we haven't spoke about a lot, that Chucky-Doak is technically the defending County Cup champions dating back to 2022 when it was out of commission when North Greene did not play Chucky-Doak or South Greene in 23 and 24. So we've got County Cup complications back for the first time in 3 years. And another brilliant part about a county game, we can't have a county game in Greene County without it being First Horizon Green Sport Zone's Bachman Bernard Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing. So if you can't make it out to Rebel Hill on Friday night, of course, you can watch the game on the Green Sport Zone Facebook and YouTube pages, along with the Radio Greenville Facebook page. So we encourage you to make it out, whether you're a Chucky-Doak or South Greene supporter watching this part. But if you can't, tune in on all of those, and you can be able to watch the game or listen to it on WIKQ. But let's talk about South Greene a little bit.
All right.
They're 3-1 on the year.
Yep.
You're 3-1 on the year. You've got, like I said, some people's favorite rivalry within the county. It's been a very, very good rivalry over the last 5 or 6 years. A lot of teams trading wins back and forth. You're looking at this Friday's game. What do you see?
I mean, obviously you see a very explosive South Greene offense with Rader and Nice back there. Both those guys can flat tote the football, and a couple other weapons there on the edge. They've had huge rushing totals the last couple weeks. I think they went for almost 500 yards of total offense against North Greene. I think they rushed for north of 3 against Johnson County. So, very explosive offense. Same pace, held North Greene to 7. Held a 6A team to 14 or 21 maybe. I don't remember what the final of that game was, but that was a tight ball game too. Shut Johnson County. I think held Johnson County to 13. I think
10.
10. So I mean,
8 offensive points.
Yeah, I mean that's a good football team, top to bottom. Well-rounded football team. Coach Jones always does a good job, and they're going to be physical. They're athletic. It's going to be a really good test for us. I think it's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. I think either one, like I said, the gravity of that game, the two communities, 3-1. It should be a really, really fun night. Hopefully we get a really good physical, well-played football game.
And you already touched on the offense and defense a little bit. I want to talk about the County Cup with you because it's the first time I think we've ever talked about the County Cup because this is your third year as Chucky-Doak's head coach now. You've never had the opportunity to compete for the County Cup and coach in a game like this. So you're 2-0 against county teams at the moment. South Greene's 1-0 against county teams at the moment. So with the win, you get to keep the County Cup.
Yep.
With a South Greene win, complicates things a little bit because then it comes down to scenarios that we won't touch on down the road because we don't know what's going to happen this Friday night yet. The one thing that we do know, Chucky-Doak's got the opportunity to keep that County Cup by solely winning the game. So those kids haven't ever had the chance to compete for the County Cup either unless you're a senior.
Right.
Those seniors are the only ones that have tasted that because it was their only year that they've been able to compete for it too. So for those kids, what do you think it would mean for them to be able to compete for the County Cup for maybe the first time that they play football?
I mean, I think it means a lot, in the communities like this, these small communities, and, these kids know each other. They know kids from other communities. They know kids from South Greene, West Greene, North Greene. So that little bit of bragging rights certainly matters, and no stranger to rivalries. That stuff matters too, and it should be, like I said, a fun night. It's a big opportunity in that sense. There is no playoff implications for either team. but I think the pride and the community involvement that goes in with rivalries like this make it just as important. And anytime, you get a chance to go play a good football team on a Friday night, and it should be fun, and it should be something you want to go get. And I think
these are the games you want to play in.
Right. I mean, who cares? A lot of people care. I care. County Cup, playoffs, all those things matter. But at the end of the day, man, it's two good football teams. Hopefully both going to play physical. I know South Greene's going to be physical. We've been really physical at times. We're going to go down there and get to play a really good physical football game. And that's what Friday night football is supposed to be about. Small communities playing each other, the battle back and forth. I'm excited for it. I think we got to play well because they're a really good football team. But I think if we play well, we give ourselves a chance to win. And, I told our guys last week at halftime, I said, we got to worry about the next play. We got to win the next play. The next play is the most important thing. This week of practice, we talked about the next play is the most important thing. This is the next game, so it's the most important thing in front of us. We got to go win each play and give ourselves a chance to win. And when you play good football teams, all you can ask for is a chance to make the play when it comes your way. That's all you can ask for. When you play good football teams, nothing's guaranteed. So we go do what we're supposed to do. We get a chance to make the play when it comes our way, and hopefully we get a chance to come out with a win.
And you've got 3 keys to the game, as always, that you need to carry out in order to get that win in that important rivalry game on Friday night. What are they?
Well, we got to win the line of scrimmage. When we win the line of scrimmage, we got a chance to be pretty good. We got to win the line of scrimmage. We got to limit explosive plays, which is going to be tough with those 2 guys in the backfield. They certainly have the ability to do them, to rip them off, but we got to limit explosive plays, win the line of scrimmage, and we got to control the football. Not turn the ball over, take care of it. We do those things, then we give ourselves a chance.
At Food City, we make it easy for you to shop your way. Order online and pick it up curbside, or have it delivered straight to your door with Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now get it straight from our doors to yours.
Hello once again, and welcome back to the Heritage Community Bank Kickoff Show. Just about 12 minutes away now from opening kick between Chucky-Doak and South Greene. The County Cup indeed is up for grabs, Chris Osman. We just heard from head coach Billy Kaler of the Chucky-Doak Black Knights, but a couple of rumblings early on from you, and I can't believe we're already midway through the season to say this, but you've never seen a Coach Sean Jones-led football team.
I have never, and I've never been on Rebel Hill until tonight. This is my first time ever here at Rebel Hill, and it's been an exciting one to be here already.
Well, the hospitality's been great so far. I hope you have a tremendous experience. If you didn't know, by the way, last week Sean Jones did get arrested. He did get bailed out. The game went on. They defeat North Greene on homecoming night. The game was played, and the Rebels did win that game. So a lot of back and forth with that whole ordeal, and that was hilarious and whatnot. But most importantly, they get a big win over North Greene, a team that we've seen a couple of times already. But what does it say to you when a Rebel team like that can go out and run for 400 yards and defeat North Greene like they did?
Yeah, it impressed me. I mean, I've talked each and every week how much that I look up to North Greene and that offense that they have, Thomas Darnell led team. It's been wonderful to watch them, and to watch them come to Rebel Hill, what I thought was going to be a close game, and watch South Greene blow the waters out. I mean, it really amped me up for what South Greene could do here tonight against Chucky-Doak.
Sean Jones been very vocal in his expectations heading into the season on that offensive line. He only had 2 returning starters coming back from last year, but he's been very pleased with especially that interior of the offensive line, a younger group in that guard-to-guard spot, but a veteran-led tackle group, and they got 4 seniors up front. They've looked good so far this season. One of the big question marks. So Coach Jones is going to touch on that and many more things regarding tonight's matchup with the Black Knights. Here's Coach Sean Jones.
You got Chucky Doak this week. Huge county rivalry. I know I've said it multiple times this week already. It's potentially the best rivalry in the county. Definitely has been over the past few years. It's been the most competitive. It's seen 2 of the better teams within the county so far in this half decade. And we're looking for another classic game on Friday night. This year's edition will be atop Rebel Hill this Friday night. What can we expect when the Black Knights and the Rebels take the field?
Well, they're riding high. They had they come in 3-0 last week against Unicoi, and after winning 1 game last year, and they're riding a little high. They had a little hiccup against Unicoi, and watching film, they did some good stuff against Unicoi, but it is a big game. It's that county game, it's that community game, and that's the way we look at it. We look at it as the next game. Throw all the other stuff aside. Used to, it was a big conference game. When I was in school, and for many, many years, it was a conference game, but it's not anymore. But it's still a good old county rival. But we've been very successful the last few years. Had the hiccup, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they come up. 3 years ago, we actually had the lead, held them. They didn't even have an offensive touchdown in the first half, and they come out and kind of dominate in the second half and win the ball game going away. But other than that, we've had our way. We felt like with Chucky-Doak for the last few years. But hey, we got to come in here. We got to play physical football. Chucky-Doak's going to bring their best. Coach Kaler does a great job with them out there, and so just looking forward to a good game Friday night.
I know you've seen Chucky-Doak this year, and I know you've watched film already as we're 2 days away from the game now. Just a little bit under 48 or over 48 hours away. So when you look at film and you prepare for a team like that, what do you do offensively and defensively to slow them down and find the holes in their defense?
Well, offensively, we just got to do what we're doing. Really, we feel like, they come out and try to load the box possibly. One of their assistant coaches coached with me out here 2 years ago, so we already know that he's got in their head to try to stop the run, and we feel like if they do, we can do other things. That's what it's all about. So we got to be efficient with the football like we was all night. If we can come Friday night and not punt, then we're very successful like we did last week. Defensively, they got a couple guys that missed last year. And the thing about it is, when you start preparing for another team, who their people are. But you got to be you. You got to do you. You got to do your stuff, and hopefully, if you do what you're supposed to, it don't matter who's over there. And that's kind of the way we're looking at this year because, 11, he's an athlete. He's done some stuff this year. The quarterback has got another year under him. Was quarterback out here last year. So, just again, what do? We need to do it well, and if we do that, we feel like we'll be fine.
And one thing that I will mention, but I won't touch on it too much because you don't look far ahead. You don't look too far ahead or look at the next game. But one thing with North Greene getting back on everybody's schedule this year is the County Cup is back in play. Right. So Chucky-Doak is coming in here on Friday night, potentially bringing the County Cup because if they win that game, they would pull off the 3-game sweep of all county schools, and they would outright win that County Cup. So there are little implications there, including the County Cup. If you win that game, then you sit in the driver's seat, of course, going into West Greene the week after this with the potential to win the County Cup too. So the question I'll ask you is, we've not had that in effect the last few years, and you've not had that since 2021. So what would it mean for the County Cup now that it's back in effect to return to Rebel Hill?
I don't mean this a bad way. It is what it is because, once I come back, we try to get our culture up here that, all these games, the county games mean a lot. But on the way, it means a whole lot more if it's a conference game. The West Greene game, it's big. Right. They come back in 2 years ago and made it a conference game, and so it's good for the community. It's good for the kids bragging right. When I was a senior, we got beat 3-2, and one of their players for many years talked to me about that. And they were in a conference, so it was big. So as far as the community goes, it's a big game. As far as some of the kids go, it's a big game. But for us coaches, it's just the next game. It's non-conference. We want to win them all. All right, big rival Chucky-Doak. We've always been that rival. I'm sure.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale. We're not merging. We're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
Hello and welcome back one final time to our Heritage Community Bank pregame show. The black flag flies once again on a Friday night. Chuckey-Doak, South Greene squaring off for rights over the County Cup. The first time it's been up for grabs since 2022. Both teams looking for their fourth win here in 2025. Chuckey-Doak coming off a loss. South Greene coming off of 3 straight wins, looking to continue this hot stretch to start the season. The rivalry, the intensity, the pageantry, Chris, what more could you ask for on a Friday night?
Yeah, it's awesome to be out here each and every week, to be out and see football being played. And it's always been a good game so far. I've looked forward to it. And I know you're looking forward to this game tonight.
It just means so much more when these two face off. Chuckey-Doak 3-1 on the season, 0-1 in region play. They're led by head coach Billy Kaler in his 3rd season at the helm over in Lower Afton. And you look at a team that's averaging 29.7 points per game. They're allowing 26.8. A high-powered offense here as of late, however. We've seen that defense kind of give some in terms of points allowed. It's a stacked region. We've talked about that ad nauseum, but you look at the schedule, it doesn't get any easier. Got to take care of business here in a non-region contest. Last time out, of course, falling to Unicoi in the black hole, and it was a game in which I think Unicoi playmaking, that high-powered offense, just proved too much in the end. 261 yards of offense to Chuckey-Doak's 92 in the first half, and then Unicoi finishes with 396 total yards of offense. Chuckey-Doak with just 201, so a step down, but a team that didn't quit until the very last whistle, and that's something you got to feel good about if you're Coach Kaler.
Yeah, that Chuckey-Doak team, Unicoi kind of blew us away. That offense, we knew they were high-powered. They came in and they showed that, but Chuckey-Doak still impressed me. Like I said, they got off to a slow start in that first half. Couldn't really get things going. But that second half, they made some adjustments. They came out and they kind of played their brand of football, and they picked it back up. But like you said, it just wasn't enough to get over the hump.
Well, as the team captains meet at midfield for the coin toss, Chris, talk us through the game's keys. Coach Kaler with his same 3 keys as he has every week. What are those?
Yep, it's control the line of scrimmage, which is also my #1 big key. You've got to win at that line of scrimmage, or the rest of the offense or the defense can't play as well. And then limit those explosive plays. I think that's going to be huge tonight. That South Greene team, we've seen put up over 500 total offensive yards last week, so they've got to limit those playmakers and then win the turnover battle. Kind of short and simple. You got to take care of the football. No silly mistakes, but that's something we've seen with this young team. We've seen the penalties and then some turnovers. We just got to cut that down and play simple football.
Now on the other side of the coin, South Greene, also 3-1 on the season. They have not played a region. Remember, they're just a 4-team region, so they'll have some region games later on. But a team looking to win its second home game of the season. They did drop one in week 1 against your alma mater, Morristown East, a team that is even more high-powered offensively, 38.5 points per game, holding opponents to 15. If you look at their last 4 weeks, they've held opponents to less and less points each and every week. Coming off that big win against North Greene right here at Rebel Hill, game in which the offense churned out 556 total yards of offense, 400 of those, mind you, being running rush yards. And get this, they didn't punt one time the entire game, not one punt. Nash Rader combining for 6 total touchdowns in that one. Trip Neese running all over the place as well. An interesting 3 keys for Coach Sean Jones. Talk us through them.
Yeah, you talked about having to execute on offense. Of course, that's what you want to do every single week. You want everybody to play well and then sound good defense. And like you've talked, they've given up less and less points each time on the defensive side. And then my favorite key is daggone it, we got to win special teams.
We got to win special teams.
What a key from Coach Jones. But it's the truth. You look at offense, defense, you forget about special teams. It's still a really crucial part of the game.
Chris, I'm juiced up. I'm ready to go. I know you're excited. Just ready to get some football here from South Greene County. Opening kickoff, Chucky-Doak going to kick things off. Tom Honlin going to handle the kicking duties. Back deep to receive for the Rebels, the quarterback, Nash Rader, alongside his counterpart back there on the receiving team, and that is going to be Dalton Thornburg. Or Trip Neese, rather. South Greene in the home blacks, white helmets, maroon lettering on the helmets, white numerals on the jerseys with the white Rebels written across the chest. First time they tried out these black jerseys was in week 1. We'll see how they fare this week. Chucky-Doak, however, the road whites, the black numbers and lettering with the gold trim, gold pants, black helmets, Knights written in cursive along the side. Dom Hanlon back to kick it away. He will do the duties, and we are underway. Boot to ball, and we've got football atop Rebel Hill. Nash Rader on the reception. He'll take it up past the 20, in between the 30 and the 40. He's breaking free now, and eventually will get drugged down by the Chucky-Doak kickoff coverage team and Skylar Davis. Pretty good return for Nash Rader as he sets up shop for his own offense.
Yeah, that's a good way to start this game off. You pretty much put your team in good field position. You're right almost at the 50-yard line. I mean, what a way to start this game.
51st all-time meeting between Chucky-Doak and South Greene. Of course, South Greene winning big in last year's matchup. South Greene winners of 6 of the last 7. Chucky-Doak looking for their first win in the series since 2022. South Greene also leading the all-time series 38-12. And as Nash Rader looks to the sideline, he'll get a play in, and we'll open up offensively here today as we begin this first quarter of action. Matthew Palazzo, Chris Osman, elevated field side here atop Rebel Hill to welcome you into another Friday Night Lights coverage. Quick screen pass to the bottom of the field is how Will gets things started. The reception pulled in by the tight end Charlie Lane, and a big gain on first down will result in 17 yards, put the Rebels in plus territory, but a flag is down.
Something we've seen week in and week out, especially with this Chucky-Doak team, is constant penalty markers, and so that's something I'd like to see, kind of come down this week.
And the call will go against the Rebels. It is a holding call. So we talked about that veteran front for South Greene. Colton Silvers, Heath Norton, and both at tackle, both seniors. And then Pablo Rosario, the senior at center. Both guards are juniors, Bryce Crum and Lucas Murdoch, the left and right guards, respectively. So holding is the call. South Greene will redo first down, this time from the plus 48-yard line. Nash Rader and co. Trip Neese to his left. Will send 2 receivers out to the left, or 3 rather. And it'll be a quarterback keeper off the left tackle. Nash Rader open in space, juking and jiving past the 30, inside the 20, stiff arms the defender, and waltzes out of bounds for a big pickup there, a gain of over 25 yards on first down.
Yeah, we talked about how explosive that run game was last week, and we're seeing it already early on in this game.
Call it a gain of, let's call it 32 on the play. Nash Rader calls his own number to get things going. The first official play in our books here tonight. South Greene with a lot of offense in a hurry so far. 11:24 remaining here in this opening quarter. Threatening to score into the Gary's Paint and Body red zone after picking up a Marsh Propane first down. The first down carry goes to Trip Neese in between the guards, and he'll fall forward for a gain of 3 on the play. Nash Rader, a big game last week, Chris. 6 total touchdowns on the ground. Ran for nearly 100 yards. Was pretty efficient through the air as well. 6 for 7. Trip Neese, another big game out of him as well, as that offense churned over 400 yards in rushing.
Yeah, it was a really impressive win by them last week.
South Greene goes heavy here. They'll put 2 tight ends in the game. Nash Rader with 2 receivers split out. It'll be a handoff to Trip Neese off the right tackle, and he'll get shoestring tackled by Marcus Britt of Chucky-Doak as he falls forward for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you're going to have to see this week. Seeing in a run-heavy offense like this, Marcus Britt, Braden Green, Danny Turbeville, you're really going to have to see them step up there in the middle linebacker and outside linebacker positions.
So the short pickup on second down will bring up a 3rd and short now inside the 10-yard line. South Greene looking for their first points of the ball game. Offense picking up right where it left off a Friday night ago. The snap, And the read off the left side, it's Nash Rader. The zone read. He'll jump over a defender before eventually getting drugged down by Dom Atchison. He does have the line to gain, it looks like, so it'll bring up a goal-to-go situation for the Rebels.
Yeah, you see this Rebel offense, they like that read option, keeping it and running out the side. So if you're those DBs out there, you've got to stay home and be ready for that ball to come your way.
First and goal from the 4-yard line, under 10 to play here, opening quarter. South Greene looking to deliver the first blow of our young ball game. Nash Rader in the shotgun, trip knees to his right. The snap directly to Rader. He'll dart up the middle, drugged down by Alvarez in the center of the line of scrimmage, but it's not enough. He'll fall forward for a touchdown. Nash Rader puts the Rebels on top first.
Yeah, what a drive by them. You had that one penalty early on that first play, but after that, they never looked back. They just kept pushing the ball down their throat, moving it up play by play, and you see an easy score there.
A 5-play, 2-minute, 22-second drive that results in 6. Nash Rader on the drive, 3 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. Good way to get things going if you're Coach Sean Jones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to attempt the extra point for the Rebels will be Brant Wilhoit, and a flag will fly before he can get a kickoff. And another violation against the Rebels, so it'll back up by 5 to attempt the point after. 6-0, South Greene takes an early lead over Chucky-Doak. A fast, efficient, driven drive by that star quarterback, Nash Rader.
Yeah, that's tough early on to see your defense get pushed back that easy, but if you're Kipton ball in this Chucky-Doak offense, you've got to come out and fire back quick.
Coach Sean Jones talking about wanting to win the special teams battle. The kicking game has been a problem at times this season. Brant Wilhoit going to get backed up to attempt the point after here. The kick is up and through the uprights. Tack one more on. South Greene leads it 7-0 over Chucky-Doak with 9:38 remaining in the first quarter of action. This is the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
Tommie's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommie's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommie's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the...
Well, the Rebels strike first, and they do it quickly. South Greene opens up an early lead over Chucky-Doak, 7-0. 2 minutes, 22 seconds, all it took for the Rebels to march over 50 yards down the field and punch in with a 4-yard touchdown run for Nash Rader. Brant Wilhoit puts boot to ball, puts Dom Hanlon inside the 5-yard line. He'll take the kick out, and it bounces out of his hands. The ball on the turf. Looks like Hanlon jumped on it. So the damage for now limited, but it is going to put Chucky-Doak in some unfortunate field position to start things out for their offense.
What an interesting way to lose that football there. You know, nobody was around him. I think he just, I don't even know how he dropped that football there.
Well, we'll get to see the first of Chucky-Doak's offense here tonight. We talked about an offense averaging about 4 scores a game, led by that sophomore signal caller, Kipton Ball.
Yeah, Kipton's looked phenomenal each and every week, just playing very efficient football in the passing game.
Ball will break the huddle. Braden Greene behind him in the pistol formation. He'll send 3 receivers out to his left, 1 to the right. The shotgun snap, the handoff to the right to Greene. He'll look to bounce it left side and get drugged down by the defensive end. That's Lucas Couch, the senior, with a big TFL on first down. So we've seen a number of times this year, Braden Greene, the feature back in this Chucky-Doak offense. But the last 2 games, Chris, no touchdowns. We've seen Marcus Britt come in and handle some of those duties later in games. But talking about a guy who had those 4 rushing touchdowns the first 2 games of the season, just waiting for a big comeback moment for him, I think, and look for him to get back on the right side of things. Another snap here, under 9 to play. Braden Greene going to shed a tackler up the middle, and he'll fall forward past the 20-yard line and right about the 23-yard line, where it'll set up a 3rd and short for the Black Knight offense. So a gain of 8 on the play for Braden Greene. And with 8:35 left to play here in our opening quarter, Chucky-Doak's offense faced with a key conversion down here, looking to get things going and answer that score put up by the Rebels on their first drive. Kipton Ball and Co. will break the huddle. Twins receivers out to either side. Braden Green behind him. Key matchup in the trenches tonight. A young sophomore-clad Chucky-Doak offensive line against a veteran-laden South Greene defensive front. South Greene brings pressure off the edge, and they'll get to Kipton Ball. It looks like it was a designed pass play there. Kipton had to tuck it, kind of get it underneath that rushing edge defender there, and able to get tripped up in the end by Charlie Lane and a cohort of Rebels, bringing up a 4th and short. It's going to force the Black Knights to punt.
Yeah, we talked about how this South Greene defense is just improving week in and week out, and right there, that veteran-heavy defensive line is really putting pressure on that young Chucky-Doak offense.
And we saw it last week, Chris, where they come out flat against Unicoi County, a couple 3-and-outs, and that Unicoi County offense, as we know, just high-powered, and they're going to make you pay. So you better just take advantage of those opportunities. So far, South Greene 1 for 1 in their scoring chances. Back deep to receive the punt. It is Nash Rader. He'll shed off a tackler before getting ripped down by Marcus Britt and a couple other Black Knight defenders, where the South Greene offense will have its second go of things at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, like you talked about last week, they got off to a slow start, and it really hurt them early on. And I think if they happen to do that again this week, they might see struggles again. This South Greene offense is just as explosive, so they're going to have to come next possession and just be ready to fire on offense.
Nash Rader, the senior quarterback. Trent Neese directly behind him, the junior tailback. Another bunch set for the Rebels to Rader's right. This offense takes up shot from the left hash. One other receiver to the boundary as Rader signals it. He'll get it. Another veer play to the left. This time he'll keep it off the edge, get the marker and more before stepping out right around the 50-yard line. So we'll see if that's the line to game, but just explosive so far in these few plays we've seen from the Rebels.
Yeah, they don't even look phased when the ball comes out. They come and they play their game. Each position knows their role, and they execute it well.
On the first play in this second drive, Nash Rader takes on the quarterback keeper with 7:16 left to play in our opening quarter. Rebels already into plus territory after picking up a Marsh Propane first down. Similar set as the last. Rader sends 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Neese behind him in the pistol. He'll turn to his left-handed off. Neese off the tackle, rumbling forward. He'll do a somersault across the 45-yard line, now close to the marker. And the gain of 9 on the play will bring up 2nd and 1. Three carries, 15 yards for the feature back, Trent Neese thus far. 2nd and 1 upcoming for the Rebels. You see them get in that short yardage situation, or those goal-to-go situations. They bring in the big bodies, the 2 tight end sets. That's what they're going to do here. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers to the left. Rader takes the snap, hands it off left side to Neese. Neese tripped up by Dom Atchison, but it is enough for the first down. Marsh Propane first down as he falls across the 35-yard line.
Yeah, this offense so far just looks unstoppable. You knew coming in, if you're Coach Kaler, that this is going to be not an easy challenge if you're the defense. You got to come ready.
And the Rebels go hurry up. It's a handoff to Neese once again. This time, the Black Knights get pressure in the backfield. They swarm Neese for a tackle for loss, but a flag will fly in late. And already 2 penalties on the Rebels. Chris, you've talked about penalties, something that Chucky-Doak has struggled with early this season, but after the 3rd penalty of the game that goes against the Rebels, you got to clean that up if you're Coach John Jones and co.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you talk about how you have a pretty semi-veteran team, and that's something you don't expect out of the older guys. As Chucky-Doak, you kind of see that coming from a couple of the younger guys early in the season. But, yeah, if you're Sean Jones, you've got to clean that up earlier. You might be in a hurting later on in the game.
That'll back the Rebels up to where they'll now face a 1st and 20 from the Black Knights' 42-yard line. Rader with 3 receivers to the right. He'll turn, fake a throw. It's a halfback draw. Trent Neese off the left tackle. It'll be good for a gain of 3 on the play. He'll get helped up by a couple Black Knight defenders. So early on, a little bend by this Black Knight defense, but a couple plays in back-to-back situations where they've been up to the task.
Yeah, they're kind of fighting back in it. That penalty helps them out. We talked about in weeks past, they get penalties that help the other team out. And so now they're on that plus side of it. And so you have to take advantage of those penalties, be able to build off of that.
Such a dynamic duo in the backfield. Rader's going to throw his first pass of the night. He's got Charlie Lane at right sideline. He'll tiptoe down inside the 20-yard line, get pushed down inside the 5 by Braden Greene. The Rebels showing no signs of slowing up. A 35-yard completion on 2nd and long results in a first down. Marsh Propane first down. It puts the Rebels inside the 10.
Yeah, you talked about pregame, how this is a very physical matchup, and you see that right there. They get the ball on the outside. He breaks off 2 tackles, and then even with Braden Greene trying to bring him down there, he kept going for an extra 3 or 4 yards. Just shows that South Greene's really come for this physical battle.
First and a goal here from the 5 for the Rebels. 5:20 left to play. Looking to score for a second time tonight. It's a handoff to Neese, and he'll truck a defender right into the end zone. Touchdown, South Greene. Trip Neese puts the Rebels on top by 2 scores.
Physical, physical, physical. That's what Sean Jones has preached to his guys all week, and man, they've come out and they've shown it early on.
The physicality. Trip Neese just inviting the contact, lowering both shoulders, and trucking that corner right into the end zone. Touchdown Rebels, and they're on top now 13-0 pending the extra point.
Yeah, if you're the Rebels, so that builds a lot of momentum. Going up 2 touchdowns already, we've not even played a full quarter of football. It's something really to look forward to.
2 for 2 so far in their drives. Last week they were 8 for 8 in scoring chances. The extra point up and no good. The score remains 13-0 atop Rebel Hill. 5:15 left to go in our opening quarter. You're listening to the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
In Greenville, we blend beauty with Southern charm.
From sharp cuts to flawless color and perfect extensions, we make dream hair real.
As milkshake experts, we deliver exclusive treatments, glosses, and pro product advice. Finish your look with nails and waxing done with care.
Relax and recharge with our signature Japanese head spa.
Come experience the Main Brand difference.
At the Main Brand Hair Company,
we wrangle your tangles.
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
$5:15 left to go. Opening frame of football here. Rebels have scored in their 2 opportunities thus far, the most recent of which a 5-yard touchdown scamper if you could call it that, trucking a defender in to put the Rebels up by 2 scores. A flag on the ensuing kickoff, and we'll have to redo it with just over 5 ticks left here in the first quarter of play. Chris, a Rebel offense that has picked up right where they left off last Friday.
Yeah, they look just as powerful. They've not gave up anything, gave up any energy, and to see early on they were able to run the ball left and right, and then that play right there, they just ran right through the defense. So shows that they can do all aspects of the run game.
4th penalty of the day thus far for the Rebels. Despite the 4 penalties, however, been able to move with those big plays downfield. Charlie Lane, a 35-yard reception on the previous drive. Big runs by Nash Rader and Trip Neese as well on that drive to kind of make up for that lack in penalties. Brant Wilhoit to boot it away. He'll kick it. It'll dribble itself down inside the 20 where Honlin's going to pick it up for Chucky-Doak. Honlin reverses field, moving to his left. He'll make a defender miss and then get tackled from behind and then get down to where the Black Knight offense will set up shop on their own 24-yard line. So last time out, we saw the Black Knight offense, a spark on that second down run by Braden Greene. But other than that, a 3 and out. They were forced to punt. We saw that all too often last week in that first half against Unicoi County, an offense that mustered up only 91 total yards in that first half. If you're that Chucky-Doak offensive line, which there's been a lot of talk about, by the way, by that Chucky-Doak staff, that, hey, our offensive line, it might be young, but we're better than you. We're more physical. Want to see that here on this drive.
Yeah, you want to see them win that battle on the line of scrimmage. That's Coach Kaler's number 1 key every week is win that line of scrimmage. So it's something big you're going to have to do here early on.
Big test here for the second drive. The shotgun snap to Kipton Ball. It's a handoff directly to Braden Greene, who will run it off the right side and be dragged down from behind for a gain of 6 on the play. Here early, we saw Braden Greene bottled up for the most part in last week, but a couple good runs to start his night off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it really helps Chucky Doak that maybe when Braden Green's having a couple down plays, you throw Marcus Britt in there, give Braden a rest, let him get his thoughts back together, and then put him back in there. And that dynamic duo has really been helpful this year to go 3-1.
3 carries for the bell cow back thus far, 14 yards for Greene. And the junior will line up behind the sophomore Kipton Ball. Will take the shotgun snap. Another handoff to Greene, this time in between the tackles, and he'll zigzag his way past the 30-yard line, fall forward, reach out for the line to gain. And it will be enough for a Marsh Propane first down, the first of the night for the Black Knights.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to see here, we've seen early on in the year, you run the ball, and then Kipton spreads the field back out by throwing those little slants, those screen passes. So to see that open up this defense, who's going to be a tough challenge, would be something nice to see here.
Saw Dom Honlin catch that touchdown pass a week ago. Also, Skylar Davis with a big catch later in that game. Would like to see them get those playmakers involved. You're right, though. 1st and 10 for the Black Knight offense from their own 32-yard line. Kipton Ball will take the shotgun snap, 3 receivers to the left. Another handoff to Greene. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage and forced backwards by that stalwart of a defensive front by South Greene. One of those being Colton Silvers, the senior, playing both ways.
Yeah, that's a big boy there on the defensive line, and to see him on the edge a lot and see a quick feet from a big guy like that, it's really helpful if you're that South Greene coaching staff.
So far for the Black Knights, 6 plays, all rushing plays, I guess you'd call it. But 3:15 left to go in this opening quarter. Still have yet to put some air in that football. They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers out to the left and 1 to the right. Braden Greene in tow behind Kipton Ball. 3 down defensive front for the Rebels. Ball will take the snap, look to his right, and throw across the middle. It's picked off. Trent Haynes of South Greene picks it off, takes it down to the 30-yard line. What a play by that South Greene secondary. Big takeaway from the Rebels.
Wow, I was just bragging on Kipton Ball of how poised he's been in that pocket, and I didn't want to mention it, but that's Kipton's first interception of the year, and you see it to come in a moment like that where you're down 2 touchdowns. You give South Greene a good field position to go potentially score again. That's something you hate to see as a young quarterback.
Looked like he was aiming for Parker McMurray over the middle of the field, but just not out of reach for Trent Haynes, who reaches up and it just plucks it out of the air. Good return on the interception as well. And you're right, Kipton's first interception of the season, and a guy who's been really efficient with the football. This time makes a mistake, puts South Greene in plus territory immediately. Trip Neese with the first down carry. He'll get drugged down from the back by Marcus Britt, picking up 7 on the play.
Neese with the carry, gain of 7.
So a big first down carry. Trip Neese has looked excellent thus far, just rumbling forward. It always takes more than one to take Trip Neese down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big fella, and he's quick too. And so when he gets a defender in front of him, he's able to get agile around him. So you got to be able to break yourself down and make that a fundamental tackle.
2:15 left to play, opening quarter of action. South Greene leads by 13. On the end around, it's Charlie Lane. Lane, a spin move. He'll stiff arm a defender as well and then get ganged up on right near the 20-yard line, but it is enough for a Marsh Propane first down.
Brought down by Danny Tuberville, a name, a senior led that we thought we would hear more of, and we heard from him a lot last week. And so seeing him on the rise of stepping up, being that leader on defense is really something that Chucky Doak needs.
Big gain by the Rebels, puts them into the Gary's Paint and Body red zone with under 2 to play in this opening quarter. It's been all Rebels so far after a 3-and-out and an interception by the Black Knight offense. South Greene looking to pile on some more. On the read option, it's Nash Rader off the right tackle. He'll have to have 2 drag him down inside the 15. Is where Nash Rader will stumble after a pickup of 5 on first down.
Looks like Braden Greene got a little shaken up there.
Braden Greene, another one of those Chucky-Doak defenders playing both ways. Starting middle linebacker, starting tailback for the Black Knights. 1:15 remaining now in the first quarter of play. South Greene's offense continues to just churn out yards. Rader will send 3 receivers to his right. Motion Trip Neese to his right pocket. Take the shotgun snap and power forward in between the guards and be catapulted inside the 15-yard line, or inside the 10 rather, and cut the to-go distance in half.
You know, one thing that's interesting to me, and, you know, maybe this is just me coming from a big school, but we have so many players at, you know, that 5A, 6A level that you only have players really playing one side of the ball. And so seeing these smaller schools and the kids playing almost every snap, it's really impressive to me how they're able to just keep going with that adversity, to keep playing through each and every play.
Rebels staying the same formation. Another read option. It's Nash Raider, who will bounce around a couple Black Knight defenders before getting taken down right near the 6-yard line. And it will be enough for another Marsh Propane at first down. Rebels continuing to move the chains. 8 carries so far for Nash Raider. Rebels going to take this to the quarter, but we played one here from Rebel Hill. Your score at the end of 12 minutes, it's South Greene 13, Chucky-Doak 0. South Greene in a goal-to-go situation when we come back. This is the Bachman-Bernard Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest asset. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
Hello friends, this is State Representative David Hawk. Always honored to support our Greenville and Greene County schools in their academic and athletic programs. We are blessed to have great families, teachers, and coaches working hard to ensure a bright future for our students. I'm David Hawk, encouraging all listeners to get involved and stay involved with our young people to help them succeed. We work hard in the classroom through the week and play hard on the field when the Friday night lights turn on. Once again, this is David Hawk. It's my honor to serve and represent you. Paid for by Fund to Elect David Hawk, Daniel Hawk Trust.
Green Sports Zone, in partnership with First Horizon Bank, presents the Bachman-Bernard Green Sports Zone TV Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing. Once again,
well, the first quarter dominated by the Rebels, Chris. We played one here atop Rebel Hill. South Greene leads Chucky-Doak 13-0. The yards continue to stack up, and they take a 2-score lead into the second quarter. How about those Rebels in the first?
Yeah, it was very impressive. They come out their first 2 drives and basically didn't even look back, didn't look phased, just kept pushing the ball forward, and you know, they put 2 scores on the board early. You missed the kick there that Sean Jones probably wasn't happy about. He really wants to win that special teams there. But
South Greene with 3 blockers in the backfield to escort Nash Raider, and he'll get it close. Looks like he's on the 1-foot line down near the goal line. And so the Rebels will line it up once again. 3 backs to Raiders' right. Raiders' 8th carry of this first half so far. He's going to take this one, send it directly up the middle. A dominant force up front from the Rebels, and they're on top 19-0. Nash Raider with his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
Yeah, just continuing on. I said those first 2 possessions, they kept pushing the ball forward. They come down here, march down the field, switch sides of the field, and just march it right back in 2 plays. An impressive offense already.
2 touchdowns on 9 carries for the South Greene Rebels. They lead at 19-0. They'll line up the same formation to attempt the 2-point conversion. Nash Raider, the snap. He'll run to the right, behind the right guard, and get pulled back by Alvarez. But it is good. 2-point conversion will make it a 21-0 South Greene lead. We'll take it to a break. Return in 60 seconds with 11:30 left to go here in the second quarter. Your score, South Greene 21, Chucky-Doak 0.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at GatewayNissanGreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
Win or lose, it's a family tradition. "24-hour hot breakfast, cold drinks, and a table big enough for the whole team, or just your team." IHOP at Davy Crockett Travel Centers. Breakfast that brings you back. Open 24/7 right off I-81, exit 36.
Well, it's been a Rebel rout so far here tonight. 21-0. They lead it over Chucky-Doak after Nash Raider's 2nd touchdown run of the day. Dom Honlin to return the ensuing kickoff, and he'll run over defender across the 30-yard line. Chucky-Doak coming off that turnover a possession ago, looking to get things rolling here for a third drive, Chris.
Yeah, it'll definitely be something different that this Chucky-Doak offense has come out to. This is the first time they've come out after throwing interceptions. So to see what Kipton Ball does here, does he put that interception behind, or does he continue thinking about that and he makes another error here?
And you talk to people around the Chucky-Doak program, Kipton is that type of person. He's cool, calm, collected. He is probably the best bet out of anybody to bounce back after a mistake like that. Chucky-Doak going to send the backup tailback, Marcus Britt, into the ball game. They'll send 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right, and the sniffer back, Sam Johnson, on the left side of the formation. It'll be an inside handoff to Marcus Britt. He'll spin around a few times before getting taken down near the 35 for a gain of 3 on the play.
Brought down by Trent Haynes there, who we saw with the interception last drive. So seeing him coming out and already making big plays, that's the type of leaders you need on the team. And to see that he's only a freshman making those plays, really big future if you're Sean Jones.
Black Knight offense moving left to right as you view it. Under 11 to go here in the first half of action. Trailing by 3 score, a similar position they found themselves in last Friday night's game against the Blue Devils. The sniffer back will motion over to the right. Kipton Ball, the shotgun snap. He'll look to his left. Looking for Atchison on the slant. It does get broken up there. Knocked out of Atchison's hands by Lucas Couch. Good play there by the senior.
Yeah, senior to senior matchup there on the receiver to DB there. And so you're always going to see physicality there. The big guys, they want to make the big plays. They want to take pride in that. So you're going to see that dogfight there every possession.
After the incomplete pass, it'll bring up a 3rd and 7 now for the Black Knights on their own 35. You got to feel like this is a crucial conversion down for the Black Knight offense.
Yeah, I think it's a must-have here to really turn some momentum around.
Hit the ball, break the huddles. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. He'll take the snap, sprint out to his left. He'll get the shoulders around the throw, batted up in the air. Charlie Lane nearly coming away with the second South Greene interception of the day.
Well, I know it's hard to roll out left and turn your body and throw that, but Skylar Davis had burnt the defender down the field. You might have got a possible touchdown out of that.
So far, 3 drives for the Black Knights, 2 3-and-outs, 1 interception. Fortunately for Chucky-Doak, they don't turn it over there in a near catastrophe. But Coach Billy Kaler going to expend his first time out of the ball game, and we'll take one with him. Return in 60 seconds with 10:34 left to play in the first half. It's South Greene 21, Chucky-Doak 0 in the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
Looking for a garage door without the long wait? At D&D Garage Door Supplier of Greenville, you'll find Safeway brand garage doors delivered in just 9 business days. Why wait 4 to 6 weeks when your new door could be rolling up sooner? They're your one-stop shop with over 25 years of experience, offering doors, parts, installs, and openers, including LiftMaster motors, overheads, and side mounts. Dealers, go check them out. They've got everything you need to get the job done right. Stop by 107 Bohannon Avenue or call 423-278-0622. D&D Garage Door Supplier. Reliable, trustworthy, and opening doors for you every day.
Once again, we welcome you back atop Rebel Hill. 10:30 left to play in the first half. South Greene off to a commanding lead, 21-0 over the Black Knights. Dom Honlin going to punt it away after the second 3-and-out of the day so far for the Black Knights. A punt that goes off the right and nearly into the stands, and that's going to set up South Greene in pretty good field position.
That's a tough punt if you're Chucky-Doak. You put South Greene right back in your own territory, and man, if you're Chucky-Doak's defense, you really got to get a stop here. You know, we seen last week they got off to a slow start and were able to put some points back on the second half, but you don't want to get it down too far that you can't come back.
Couple of score updates from around the area. Eagleton Academy leads West Greene 20-0 with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Also, after 1 quarter of play, North Greene with a 7-0 lead over Cosby. So waiting for an update in that Greenville game. But over here, South Greene up 3 scores, a chance to tack on 1 more here in plus territory where they'll set up shop for a 4th time today. Nash Raider, the sprint out to the right, looking for a man in the flats. It is a little low, so an incomplete pass that will bring up a 2nd and 10 from Chucky-Doak's 42. Just the second throw we've seen Raider attempt here tonight. The first being that 35-yard completion to Charlie Lane. No luck there, though, and with 10-20, Rebels, for the first time, a negative or no gain play on first down.
Yeah, it's first time. I mean, we saw him throw the ball once there. I believe that's just his second attempt, and, you know, you don't see that a lot. You just continue to see him pound the rock up in the middle or go left and right.
2 tight ends in for the Rebels. They'll pull around a guard and hand it off to Trip Neese, who will barrel forward for a gain of 4 on the play. Tough carry there by the junior tailback.
I believe that was Colt Scholl with the tackle. That's his second of the game, and yeah, I love seeing the young guys play well, and seeing him as a freshman with his second tackle of the game against a very physical team, you know, really impresses me.
Lucas Murdoch, the pulling guard, one of those 2 younger guys on that South Greene front, one of the 2 juniors that get the start. The other 2 seniors end around here for the Rebels on 3rd and medium. Chucky-Doak read it like a book. What a play there by Chucky-Doak's Spencer Nunley, the junior, with a big tackle for loss on 3rd and medium. Decision time for the Rebels.
Yeah, I talked about here, this is definitely a big defensive possession if you're Chucky-Doak. You want to get that stop. You want to get the ball back in your offense's hand. Give them something to be proud of. And that right there, setting up in a 4th and long here, tremendous by this defense. You hold them here, get the ball back, go put some points on the board.
So the loss of 4 backs the Rebels back up to the 42-yard line. They'll send out 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Trip Neese behind Nash Raider. He will motion to Raiders left. And they go hard count here on 4th and long. It draws 2 of the interior defensive linemen off sides. A crucial blow for that Black Knight defense.
One of those being Spencer Nunley. He was so excited in that tackle for loss there, and then he gives up that. You know, considering it being 4th and 10 there, maybe that's why Sean Jones and the South Greene didn't punt last week. They were always going for it. He's confident in his team, and I think that goes a long way.
South Greene, a team that doesn't necessarily punt the ball a lot. They don't kick a lot of extra points. They go for 2 a lot. They go for it on 4th down quite a bit. It's always been the Sean Jones MO. And a timeout here to talk things over. Coach Jones want to have a word with his offense. We'll take one with him, return in 60. 8:33 left to go here in the second quarter. Your score remains South Greene 21, Chucky-Doak 0.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac? From Bachman Bernard in Greenville. Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
With the hustle and bustle of life, why not let Ashley Drug, a locally owned pharmacy, take something off of your plate with their med dosage packaging? Have your medications conveniently labeled with the date and time to take them, and while you're at it, utilize the free delivery service for those times that you can't get out of your house. Need an easy way to refill your medications? You can order and manage your refills today with text alerts. Text RX Local to 64890 to sign up and get started. Don't let life pass you by. Get out and enjoy every minute and let Ashley Drug help you do so. Located in the West Greene Shopping.
The Rebel faithful enjoying the YMCA here from the home field. The Rebel football team enjoying a 21-point lead as we welcome you back out of the Coach Jones timeout. Rebel offense going to stay out on the field and go for it on 4th and 5 here from Chucky-Doak's 42. The shotgun snap, Nash Raider looking over the middle. He's got a man, and the pass just overthrown past the outstretched arms of Charlie Lane. So a big turnover on downs and the first stop of the day for Chucky-Doak.
Yeah, big turnover on downs. I feel like you're down 21 here. If you're Chucky-Doak, you get the ball back. You've got a decent ways to go to get to the end zone, but it's some promise. You get a stop on defense. You get your offense back out there. You get kipped and rolling again. I think this could be a big turn of events if you can put some points on the board here.
And no harm, no foul. The punt that didn't go quite as far as you would have liked doesn't hurt you, even though you gave South Greene that good field position. A big stop on 3rd down and a big stop there on 4th down as well. And you're right back where you just left off, offensively, that is. 2 receivers out, 2 Kipton balls left, 1 to the right. Marcus Britt, the tailback, behind ball in the pistol. Chucky-Doak coming off that 3 and out. The second time they've done that here tonight. It's an inside handoff to Marcus Britt. He'll get drugged down by the Rebel secondary, but it'll be enough for a 9-yard gain on 1st and 10. Marcus Britt shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, he looks very explosive out of there. Looks like he wants something. He wants to get in that end zone. He wants his team to succeed, and that's what it takes, is taking those leaders to step up, like Braden Green, Kipton Ball, Marcus Britt. You've got to step up and make those big plays.
2nd and 1 upcoming for the Black Knights from their own 45-yard line. Twins receivers to the right. The sniffer back to the right. Ball, the snap, hand off to Britt, and he'll get met in the backfield. A big stop there by South Greene's Jaden Eastep, a sophomore. Sophomore on sophomore violence there on 2nd down.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you're going to see here is you're going to see the young guys step up. You've got that heavy line that's your veterans, but you've got some younger guys in the backfield. One we talked about being Trent Haynes. He's already made a couple tackles, an interception. So you've got a variety that's come to play, but they all have that same veteran mindset, and I think that's what it takes to overcome a big game.
Big 3rd down on the way. 7.5 remaining here before we reach the midway point. Kipton Ball going to break the huddle. Similar formation here for the Black Knights. Ball handed off up the middle to Marcus Britt. He's got the line to gain. He's got the Marsh Propane 1st down in between the 45 and the 50. Marcus Britt with another productive carry.
Yeah, moving the chains, that's what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to make 20-yard plays at a time, but you make that couple 3 or 4 yard carry. You do that 2 or 3 times, you get that 1st down, and then you work on to continue moving that ball.
4 carries for Marcus Britt, 17 yards thus far. The only 2 Black Knights to touch the ball, not named Kipton Ball, Braden Green and Marcus Britt. Couple targets, no receptions. Black Knights going to go in the Wildcat here, send Dom Atchison back to take the snap. It'll be a power read. Marcus Britt gobbled up in the backfield. Charlie Lane off the edge like a screaming banshee for the tackle for loss on 1st and 10.
Yeah, they got up there quick and explosive, and if you're Chucky Doak there, maybe you play action, you roll out. You've had a couple successful run plays, so you know that South Greene may be expecting that, maybe want to get that stop, so you got to change up that play calling a little bit.
A loss of 3 on 1st down will bring the Black Knights back to, that's a tongue twister there, from their own 46-yard line. So 2nd and 13 on the way. Dom Atchison still at quarterback now for the Black Knights. Twin receivers either side. He'll take the snap. Another read option to Marcus Britt. Britt pinballs off a few tacklers. He'll get the original 1st down, or the original marker, just 2 yards and a cloud of dust there for the Black Knights. Once again, forced with a big 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like Kobe Love maybe had moved a little bit there before the snap. They didn't call that. But you've got to be wary of those penalties. You don't want to take those penalties. You're getting some momentum. You definitely don't want that to set you back.
And we're big Kobe Love fans as well. It's good to see him out there. Had that injury scare in that West Greene game, but glad he's back out there running around making plays for Chucky-Doak.
Yeah, he's a crucial part of that young core. You got him and Skylar Davis and, the others, Gustavo stepping up. You really need them in the game.
Dom Atchison still a quarterback for Chucky-Doak. Trips receivers to the right. Atchison going to roll out to his right. He's got a man 10 yards out and will get met in the backfield. Sack on 3rd down. It's Charlie Lane with a big 3rd down stop.
Charlie said, "This is Rebel Hill, and you are not running up here." He has come to play. 4 tackles, 2 back-to-back there, man. He is ready to play.
That was absolutely electrifying. Not only is he producing offensively, but the hardest hit of the night on defense, and the Black Knights forced to punt once again.
Yeah, I talked about a momentum change and Chucky Doak needing something. I think that momentum stayed in that South Greene side there with that tackle.
4 drives for this Black Knight offense in the first half. 3 punts, 1 interception. And the punt by Honlin will spiral up into the right. It'll head out of bounds near the 25-yard line. So a good flip of the field there by Chucky-Doak, and it'll force that Rebel offense to operate with their backs a little bit further back in their own territory.
Yeah, definitely a lot better punt by Chucky-Doak there, kind of pushing them back, giving your defense a little more safety, I guess you could say. But if you're that defense, you came ready to play because you knew they were in good field position. You got to come ready to play and put your offense in that good field position in this drive.
So we'll see how Nash Rader and co will respond. They get stopped for the first time all night. Last drive, they turned it over on downs. So here, with under 5 to play in the first half, we'll see if it's a ground and pound attack or if they go back to the air. 21-0, the Rebel lead stays at 3 scores. Nash Rader with 3 receivers wide out to the right. Trip Neese will follow the pulling guard. He'll break away. He's in space. He'll shrug off a tackler. He's past the 50-yard line, and he'll get brought down from behind by Skylar Davis. Big-time gain on first down. Trip Neese with the Marsh Propane first down.
Man, they're just physical. They get touched, and they can't get brought down. And, if you're Chucky Doak, you've got to make those fundamental tackles. Go down, hit them at the thighs, hit them at the knees, get them down, because bringing them up at the shoulders, they're too big to be brought down like that.
A 38-yard carry, our longest play of the night from both sides, and it's Trip Neese with a big-time first down run to put the Rebels into Chucky-Doak territory now. Again, the Rebels with that extra tight end on the field. It's Charlie Lane motioning from left to right. High snap for Rader. He bobbles it. Eventually corrals it. He'll dart up the middle. Puts a foot in the ground and goes north. Inside the 10-5 touchdown. Rebels. Nash Rader, rushing touchdown number 3. And South Greene continues to pour it on.
Matthew got a little excited there. He dropped his paper in the floor. But, if you're a South Greene fan, you've got to be excited about this offense. You get a play that wasn't expected, you get a bobbled snap, and you have that quarterback mentality that can just roll out and take it to the end zone. What an impressive drive there by South Greene.
37-yard touchdown run, and the Rebels making it well known who's in charge of this rivalry as of now. 27-0, their new lead over the Black Knights with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Grant Wilhoit to attempt the point after. The snap and hold good. Will Hoyt boots it up and through the uprights. Tack on one more. Rebels lead it 28-0 over Chucky-Doak. We'll come back. Chucky-Doak will have to respond. This is the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
No more sitting in a waiting room when you're feeling awful. Bayleton Drug Company now offers a all-in-one test kit. Just pick it up at 515 Van Hill Road in Bayleton. Take it home and test once for COVID, flu A, flu B. Then call or text us a picture of your positive results, and a pharmacist will fill your prescription for easy pickup, all from the comfort of your own home. Bayleton Drug Company, 515 Van Hill Road in Bayleton, or visit our website, Bayleton Drug Company.
Rebels have run all over Chucky-Doak so far tonight, the most recent of which resulting in a 37-yard touchdown run from Nash Rader. Welcome back. 4 minutes left to go in this first half. Rebels booted away. Chucky-Doak will return it from left to right. Braxton Lowe on the receiving end. He'll put together a pretty nice return, take it up past the 25-yard line. Nash Rader, by the way, past the century mark in this first half with that latest run.
Yeah, impressive drive. You get, I believe, that 38-yard run to put them in that position, and then you get the bobbled snap, and you take control of the game, and you just fire up the field. And just impressive all out from that South Greene team.
We'll see how this Chucky-Doak offense will respond. So far today, 4 drives. They punted the ball 3 times. They did have that one turnover on the second drive of the day. There was a penalty assessed on the kickoff, and it will go against the return team in Chucky-Doak. It'll be assessed, put them back even further in their own territory, back to inside the 20-yard line. So a tough beat for the Black Knights following that touchdown run from Nash Rader.
Impressive, though. That's Chucky-Doak's first penalty. Normally we see that come early in the game, so we talk about how week by week you've just got to cut those penalties down, and we're seeing that this week already.
We want to see how this Chucky-Doak team responds. Remember, last week, even though they were down in a big hole against Unicoi County, it felt like that team kept fighting. They stayed in it, and they kept rattling off scores in that second half. Will it be the same here tonight? Do you get it even earlier with a score here before the break? They were trailing 34-6 against Unicoi County through 2 quarters. A touchdown here will certainly help the cause for Chucky-Doak, but want to see just a bounce back here from this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd love to see them score early on, or score here before the half, have something to take in to the second half and build off that.
Hasn't been a lot of positives so far for Coach Billy Kaler's offense. This time it's going to be an even taller task, backed up to their own 15-yard line. From the right hash, And a little buffer in the play here. Looks like we're scrambling out on the field. Coach Jones
all the way in the middle of the
with
field.
the official. Under 4 left to play in the first half. Kipton ball will take the snap, hand it off left to Braden Greene. Darting in from that outside linebacker position. It's Charlie Lane once again.
Charlie Lane has really stepped it up tonight, like you said, on both sides of the ball, and that's what it takes is to have that leader, especially a veteran there that the younger guys can look up to and and want to be like Charlie. And it's been really impressive already tonight.
Charlie Lane, also a member of the Rebel basketball team. How I formerly knew him, was not familiar with his game, as the kids like to say, at least in the sphere of football. But Chucky-Doak will look to get something going before the half here. 3:15 left to go, 28-0 the lead for South Greene. Kicked the ball on the RPO. He'll give it to Braden Greene up the gut. Bounce off a tackler to begin with, and then get taken down by Trip Neese off the edge before he can cross the 20-yard line. So gain of about 3 there on second down from Braden Greene. And it's been tough sledding for that Chucky-Doak rushing attack. It's really been the only thing they've had to do this first half. 0 for 3 passing the football. You got to expect a run here and maybe a conversion, or else you might be getting down 5 scores before the halftime break.
Yeah, you've got to make something go here.
Kipton ball with the ball in his hands. He'll look to the left, fire one deep over the middle. It's Skylar Davis, the man he was looking for. But it found the hands of Noah Shelton, the sophomore safety, for a moment. He knocks it down. It falls incomplete, or that's Sean Ownby, the safety, who knocks it down for the PBU on third down. Still no completions for Chucky-Doak this first half. Matters just continue to spiral for Chucky-Doak.
Yeah, that's a tough incompletion there, but I like the play call. I was worried that Kipton throws his first interception. You've been confident in him all year, and then now you take that step back, and I'm glad to see that they still have confidence to let him air it out, let him throw it deep. Just hate to see that completion not go there.
That's a good point you raised, too. Dom Honlin back to punt it away for the Black Knights. This one a wobbler near sideline. It'll take a Rebels bounce inside the 40 is where Kobe Love will eventually down it, and the Rebels with an even shorter field for their offense to work. So 2:14 left to play for Nash Rader and his high-powered offense to get things going here before the half. Maybe put the Rebels up by even more. We saw them explode offensively last week against North Greene. So far, much the same here in this first half.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Chucky-Doak to get anything going, and it seems like it's been ease, almost like practice out there for South Greene. And you're curious here. You're in good field position. Do you score here? But last time they were in good field position, that Chucky-Doak defense came to play.
2 tight ends in the game for the Rebels. Raider takes the snap. They'll pull 2 guards. They go power, and Trip Neese will power his way inside the 35-yard line, pick up 7 on the first down carry. So after the 7-yard pickup from Neese, let's call it 6. We'll call it 6.
I mean,
I'll bring up a 2nd and 4.
It's 6 or 7 yards. It's all about the same there.
Second time you got me with this year, Chris. We're not having any more of it. We're going to run a much tighter ship up here in the noon. Anyways, about a minute and a half left to go in this first half. All Rebels so far looking to attack Moron. Again, they'll pull a guard. Trip Neese off the left side. Electric in space. Weaseling it out of the hole, and he'll move down to the 25-yard line, picking up another Mars Propane first down.
Brought down by Spencer Nunley. That's a name we really haven't heard all year, and he's come up 2 tackles already with a tackle for loss. Some big plays he's made to help this defense out.
We've seen the insertion of Nunley. Black Knights have switched up the defensive front a couple times this year, and Nunley certainly being the benefactor here in week 5, rather. The snap by Raider interrupted by the whistles, and the white hat rules it off. False start against that Rebel offense. The 3rd or 4th time we've seen a false start here in this first half, and another penalty assessed against the Rebels, despite them being up by 28.
Yeah, it's that or holding, and that's the one thing that Chucky-Doak can take away so far in this first half is they've won the penalty battle, and that's something they've not done all year that's really hurt them, but they need to get something going on offense.
Nash Raider backed up Rebels working from the Chucky-Doak 31-yard line. Raider makes the check at the line of scrimmage. He'll bobble another snap. We saw it happen the last time he did it. He'll race out to the right side. He's cutting in space. He's got just one man to beat, and he got tripped up inside the 10-yard line. Almost a mirror image of that latest touchdown run that Raider had just a possession ago.
Yeah, it's impressive how every time he bobbles the snap, he can make a play out of that, and maybe that's a play you add in Sean Jones's playbooks, the bobbled snap play.
Maybe you do. 35-yard carry there, and the Rebels will look to hold it here for the final 40 seconds of the half, maybe punch it in with a late score. Raider, the handoff to Ownby taken down in the backfield. Our man Gustavo Alvarez teaming up with one Spencer Nunley for the big stop on second down. Timeout, South Greene. We'll take a side step with them, return in 30 seconds for the remainder of the half. 27 seconds left to go. South Greene leads it 28-0.
Tommie's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommie's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommie's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
Big opportunity for the Rebels as we welcome you back out of the timeout break. 27 seconds left to go until the halftime horn. They hold a 28-0 lead over Chucky-Doak in a first half dominated by that Rebel offense. It's stagnated by that Chucky-Doak offense.
Yeah, you saw last week that Chucky-Doak got down by 28 at the half. You see him down 28 here. And, that wasn't – it was too far out of reach there. I wonder, South Greene puts on another 7 here, puts them up by 35. It might be it for Chucky-Doak early on.
Operating from inside the 10, first and goal here for the Rebels into the Gary's Paint and Body red zone. Raider going to hand it off to Trip Neese. He'll evade a tackler, sidestepping into the end zone. Touchdown, Trip Neese. The Rebels tack on 6 more.
Yeah, that's tough if you're that Chucky-Doak defense. Your offense hasn't been moving, and that South Greene offense hasn't looked to stop moving there. And so you've really got to make some adjustments in the second half to at least maybe hold them and put a couple scores on the board.
6-yard touchdown scamper from Trip Neese, his second of the day. Touchdown runs of 5 and 6 yards. Brant Wilhoit back to attempt the point after. Snap, hold good. The kick is up and true through the uprights. One more onto the Rebel lead, 35-0. A first half shutout thus far for Coach Jones' crew. We'll step aside, return for the last drive of the half. 19 seconds left to go. It's South Greene 35, Chucky-Doak zip.
At Food City, we make it easy for you to shop your way. Order online and pick it up curbside. Or have it delivered straight to your door with Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now get it straight from our doors to yours.
One thing we all have in common is the need for a good running vehicle. Here at 107 Tire and Service Center, we make that achievable with our affordable prices on repairs. Our certified techs equipped to work on any major or minor repair from brakes to engine replacements, and we offer high quality parts and a 12-month or 12,000-mile parts and labor warranty on most repairs. Come and see us at 6256 Irwin Highway in Chuckey, Tennessee, or give us a call at 620-4970.
Well, 20 seconds left to go here in our first half from Rebel Hill. All South Greene so far, to say the least. The first half that Chucky-Doak surely just wants to end at this point. Will Hoyt will squib it down the middle. Marcus Britt will reel it in. He's past the 40. Another vicious blow by one.
Charlie Lane.
Lee Boy Lane.
The talk of the night, the hard hitter, the runner. I mean, he's doing it all, and man, what a hit if you're South Greene then.
That's a big-time blow. And maybe it doesn't even affect things, but that's just a resounding message, I think, if you're South Greene to the way this first half has gone, and it's been completely in your favor. The wind's starting to pick up here in South Greene County. Saw some lightning or perhaps heat lightning. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I believe it's heat lightning, and as long as it's outside of a certain distance, I think we'll be okay.
Either way, South Greene starting to heat up here at the end of the second quarter, much like they have this entire first half. 15 seconds left on the clock. Chucky-Doak with just a few plays left to go. We'll take it right here, keep it throughout the break. And Chris, just wanted to get your thoughts overall. Obviously a first half dominated by South Greene, but improvements before we head into halftime. Maybe you punch one in here. I mean, you get that penalty assessed at the end of the return. So a couple plays here, you might get a chance to steal some points before the break.
Yeah, possibly. I think what impresses me by South Greene is they come in week one here at home. They lose a tough one to my alma mater, and you hate to lose at home. You hate to lose that opening. You go on the road to Boone and you set a statement. You go on the road again, set another statement. And then you come home and you say, we're not going to lose here at Rebel Hill again. And you put 56 on the board, and then you come out here and said, well, we're going to do the same thing here tonight, put 35 at the first half. So if you're Chucky Doak, you come into a fierce South Greene team. And so like you said, you want to just get any momentum you can take into halftime, have that conversation with coach in halftime, and come out and fire out like you did last week.
Couple score updates from some local teams. Eagleton has taken a 41-0 lead over West Greene. 5 minutes left in the first half over there. And then Cosby has stormed back with 13 unanswered. They take a 13-7 lead over North Greene. Greenville also jumping out to a 7-0 lead over Salton East. Kipped ball, the snap on first down. He's got a man deep. He's looking for Dom Honlin, and it's just out of his grasp. In and out. A surefire touchdown if he reels that one in. But an incomplete pass will result in a 2nd and 10 upcoming for the Black Knights. Just 5 seconds left for their final play of the half.
Yeah, I like that play call if you're Coach Kaler. You trust in Kipton Ball and continue to let him do his thing. And, you throw it deep. If it does get intercepted, it's all the way back. I don't see South Greene bringing that back.
A beautiful pass by Kipton, too. Right in stride with Honlin running down that right sideline. Maybe just a bit overthrown, but if you're Honlin, got to reel that one in. Would have been a big momentum builder heading into halftime. Kipton Ball with a stacked twin set each side. He'll take the snap. 3-step drop and a hitch. He'll throw across the middle. He's got Atchison inside the 20, and he'll get spun around. And that is how we will end our first half of football. So a big play by the Black Knight offense. Maybe you got something to build on going into the halftime break. Well, we've played 2 quarters here from Rebel Hill. Your score, it's South Greene 35, Chucky-Doak 0 here in the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
Unfortunately, laundry is for everyone. Luckily, so is 70 and Summer Coin Laundry. As Greenville's first-in-class laundromat, 70 and Summer Coin Laundry proudly offers Greene County and the surrounding areas an always clean and video-monitored environment to safely utilize their coin and card-operated machines that have the option to operate in both Spanish and English language, and their high-capacity washers and dryers. And for your convenience, detergent, fabric, softener, and snack machines are available. So finally, Laundry Day can be your favorite day at 70 and Summer Coin Laundry, located at 1045 West Summer Street.
This is the Bachman Bernard Green Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing, brought to you by the Terry Law Firm, the Main Brand Hair Company, Tusculum Body Shop, D&D Garage Door Supplier, and by CNC Custom Trailers. So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
Tommie's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job, from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommie's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, Our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommie's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
Whether you ride, haul, or work, CNC has what moves you from dirt roads to job sites. We've got the gear to get you there. Hard-working equipment, helpful people, and honest advice. Whether you haul tools, toys, or livestock, CNC Custom Trailers has the equipment you need and the upgrades you want. CNC Custom Trailers, where you're more than just a customer, you're a neighbor.
Looking for a garage door without the long wait? At D&D Garage Door Supplier of Greenville, you'll find Safeway brand garage doors delivered in just 9 business days. Why wait 4 to 6 weeks when your new door could be rolling up sooner? They're your one-stop shop with over 25 years of experience, offering doors, parts, installs, and openers, including LiftMaster motors, overheads, and side mounts. Dealers, go check them out. They've got everything you need to get the job done right. Stop by 107 Bohannon Avenue or call 423-278-0622. D&D Garage Door Supplier. Reliable, trustworthy, and opening doors for you every day.
My dad was born here in 1933. The Terry family has been around East Tennessee since that time, almost 100 years now. Over the past 25 years of my career, I've had the opportunity to represent East Tennesseans all over the country. When we say, let our family help your family, we mean that. That is something we live by here at the Terry Law Firm. You have my word that we will represent your family just like you're part of our family.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale, we're not merging, we're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
And we welcome you back to the Heritage Community Bank halftime report where South Greene leads Chucky-Doak 35-0, 15 minutes away from taking action this second half. Scott Anthony braving the Storms up top. Wind picking up a little bit here from Rebel Hill. Chucky-Doak unable to withstand the storm that was that Rebel offense in that first half. Chucky-Doak's offense, meanwhile, unable to get moving, Chris, and just a standstill like we saw him in that first half of the Unicoi game a week ago. Just a pretty similar picture that we saw against the Blue Devils. High-powered offense comes in, produces in that first half. They put up a ton of points, and your offense, meanwhile, unable to get anything going through 2 quarters.
Yeah, it's definitely been a struggle for Chucky-Doak, but, they've had a couple run plays to look forward to, but then it's like South Greene just fights back with a tackle for a loss or something like that, and it's been tough to battle this South Greene team.
Well, let's start with Chucky-Doak. Obviously not a lot of offense to talk about. Just 68 yards of total offense, 40 yards rushing, and they had that 28-yard completion, or else it would have been 0 yards passing. They do have 28 yards passing through 1 half of play. Tipton ball, not his best stuff so far tonight. 1 for 6 for 28 yards. Did have his first interception of the season as well. Has not thrown for a touchdown either. Dom Atchison, the recipient of that 28-yard reception, the leading and sole pass catcher for the Black Knights through 2 quarters of play. And then you take a look at the running back stable. Braden Green, 25 yards. It feels like he's had more on his 8 carries thus far. Marcus Brett, 17 yards on his 6 carries. And you look at the drive chart. I think the drive chart tells a lot from that first half. Black Knights went punt, interception, punt, 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 end of half. Just couldn't get anything going. Couldn't convert, couldn't stay on the field, and they had to punt way more often than they would have liked.
Yeah, like you said, Kipton's definitely struggled, but if I'm Coach Kaler, I still trust in Kipton to throw the ball a little bit, maybe open up that offense. And like you said, there's been no momentum on that offensive side. But on the defensive side, they did have that one momentum shift where they were backed up in their own territory, and they get that 4th down stop and get the ball back in their hands. But Chucky-Doak defense has 24 total tackles. We've seen Marcus Britt step up. We talked about him on the offensive side. He's got 5 tackles on the defensive side of the ball. Dom Atchison's got 2, with Braden Green's got 2 as well. But then Spencer Nunley's kind of been the talk on defense. He's got that tackle for loss. 4 total tackles, stepping up. Gustavo Alvarez, we've heard from him tonight with 1. And then Lance Turner Armstrong stepped up with 2 as well. So we've seen a couple different people make some tackles, but we would love to see the bigger plays that South Greene has shown.
And I agree. Nunley certainly has had a great first half. But other than that, a South Greene offense that has just churned rushing yards out, despite that good play up front from Chucky-Doak. I really think that play in the guards between Bryce Crum, Lucas Murdoch, up front from the tackles from Silvers to Norton, and then the center, Pablo Rosario, that South Greene offense is just clicking on all cylinders. I feel like I've said that a number of times already, and it's true. They haven't been stopped so far. They have stopped themselves. They turned it over on downs once, but other than that, in that first half, 6 drives, 5 touchdowns, the 1 turnover on drives, as the drive chart shows. Leading the attack, I should say, Nash Rader, senior quarterback, a terrific first half of play for him. 1 for 3 for 35 yards passing through the air. On the ground, though, is where he's made his money so far. 138 yards rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns. He's halfway to his total touchdown mark from last week against North Greene. Charlie Lane, a 35-yard reception and an 8-yard rush on his 1 carry in that first half of play. And then Trip Neese, he's that bell cow back. He's going to get in there. He's had a physical first half of football. He's churned out a couple 3-4 yards runs, and then he breaks a couple late, that big 38-yard carry. He's had touchdown runs of 5 and 6 yards so far through the 1 half of play. 10 carries for Tripp, 90 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. So 9 yards per carry, and then if you look at Nash Raiders splits, he's also up near 10 yards a carry. Just a Chucky-Doak defense that has not been able to stop that coveted South Greene rushing attack.
Yeah, that South Greene team's been pretty impressive. And, I talk about each week the keys to success is for every person to play their role. And I think South Greene's done a phenomenal job with that on offense. And, that offensive line's been impressive. But then talking about playing their role on defense, they've played really well. 26 total tackles. And the man of the night being Charlie Lane, just not only is he tackling, he is hitting people and hitting them hard. He's got 8 total tackles, and then you've got Trent Haynes, the freshman. He's got 2 tackles with that interception that really stood out. And so they've had the leader step up, but all around, offense, defense, they're playing tremendous football.
Well, somebody certainly told Charlie Lane there was a rivalry game being played here tonight, the Nolichucky River Ruction. If you hadn't heard, that's what it's called. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from the South Greene Marching Band as we await this second half to get underway. Your score at the break, it's South Greene 35, Chucky-Doak 0 in our Heritage Community Bank halftime report.
In Greenville, we blend beauty with Southern charm.
From sharp cuts to flawless color and perfect extensions, we make dream hair real.
As milkshake experts, we deliver exclusive treatments, glosses, and pro product advice. Finish your look with nails and waxing done with care.
Relax and recharge with our signature Japanese head spa.
Come experience the Main Brand difference.
At the Main Brand Hair Company,
we wrangle your tangles.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at GatewayNissanGreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in...
a windy night here in South Greene County. South Greene's offense looking excellent through one half of play. They lead Chucky-Doak 35-0. Second half just about 9 minutes away from starting up as we welcome you back into our Heritage Community Bank halftime report. Entering our Friday night scoreboard section, Chris, a couple of local games that were on our radar coming in. Got a couple updates on that front. Still at the half over in Eagleton, West Greene trails Eagleton Academy 41-0. Also an update over in Sullivan East. This one's a big one. 21-0. Greenville leads after one quarter of play. A big touchdown by Taryn Clarity to put the Green Devils on top by 3 scores. And also at the half over in Baileyton, Cosby has stormed back to take that 13-7 lead over the Huskies, where that score remains. A couple other updates from around Region 1. Who do you have for us?
Yeah, a couple games that I talked about that I had on my radar was that Elizabeth and Cherokee game. That high explosive Cherokee offense hasn't put any points on the board so far. They trail Elizabethton 14-0. Claiborne's up on Johnson County 14-6. West Ridge is up on Daniel Boone 7-0. Dobbins Bennett I talked about against my alma mater. They're up 21-0. Gatlinburg Pittman and Pigeon Forge 14-0. That explosive Unicoi County offense has only put 7 on the board against Happy Valley. They trail 14-7. A couple more down. Sevier County's beating Davy Crockett 27-7. Nobody seemed to touch them. And then Oakdale and Sunbright. Oakdale leads 23-6 on our Sunbright. And then the Unica Hancock County, which I said nobody had really scored. It's 13-0 Hancock County at the half.
Something's got to give, and so far Hancock County has certainly looked the part, looking to get their first win of the year. We're going to step aside, take a listen to our South Greene marching band here for your halftime entertainment. 7.5 left to go before we kick things off for the second half. Your score at the break once again. It's South Greene 35, Chucky-Doak 0. Here's the South Greene marching band.
Morgan Martin, Woodland Captain Lucas Johnson, Brass Captain Henry Kansler, Percussion Captain Emma Green, and Band Captain Marshall Lewis. Trumpet soloist is Christian Hardy. The band of rebels are under the direction of Mr. Jacob Credit and Miss Jackie Quillen. The percussion instructor is David Price, and color guard instructor is Jackie Quillen. The band of rebels are proud to be sponsored by Angel, Hopkins Home Improvement, Heritage Salon, Gateway 4, Bow Jailers, and Gary's Creek. Put your hand together for the band of rebels.
Fantastic stuff from the South Greene Marching Band. It is indeed a bad romance type of night here atop Rebel Hill. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll update you on some more scores as well as our second half adjustments from the best dressed man in all of Greene County here tonight. Once again, your score at the break, it is South Greene 35, Chucky-Doak 0, as you're listening to the Heritage Community Bank halftime report during the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
At Food City, we make it easy for you to shop your way. Order online and pick it up curbside, or have it delivered straight to your door with Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now, get it straight from our doors to yours.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale, we're not merging, we're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
Windy night atop Rebel Hill with just about 90 seconds left to go before we tee things off for the second half. A first half, Chris, dominated by South Greene. What do you need to see from Chucky-Doak? We'll start and hop into our second half adjustments as the Heritage Community Bank halftime report comes to a close. An offense that struggled. What does Chucky-Doak have to do to move the ball in this second half?
Yeah, I talked about Kipton Ball opening up the field, throwing those screen passes, maybe a couple slants, and we haven't really seen that. We've seen when he throws the ball, he likes to look deep, and I get that. You want to get some field position, a little quicker, but I think you run the ball a couple plays, you throw those screen passes, you open it up, and you just trust in your offense.
And then defensively, I feel like we're asking ourselves the same question as last week against Unicoi County. A defense that has played well through one half of play. Is it continue doing what you're doing, or any other words of insight from one Chris Osman to a Rebel defense?
Yeah, I don't know what much you could do to stop the South Greene run game. It's tough, it's physical, but you just have to get in position, trust your guys that you come in with a game plan this week, and that's what you use. And if you're South Greene, I think you're in a great spot here. You continue just playing your game, playing your football, get your young guys some reps that maybe haven't got some reps yet, and just continue to play the Sean Jones football.
And then a quick word of advice for a Rebel offense who has done nothing but run the ball in that first half, and a Chucky-Doak defense that has just been getting blow after blow after those powering runs from the Rebel offense.
Yeah, I think you're playing great. If you're on that offensive side, you're in a comfortable spot. You're up a couple touchdowns here. You want to put a couple more, get that lead. Maybe then, like I said, put your young guys in, let them get some reps. But I think if you're South Greene, you're in a good spot here. If you're Chucky-Doak, you got to come out of that locker room with some changes like you did against Unicoi County and try to put a couple points on the board.
Well, we're just about to tee things off for the second half. A very special thank you to Casper's Body Shop and Wrecker Service. Chris Sossman, for those of you who don't know, he is the best dressed man in all of Greene County. He is also the only person I've ever heard lock his keys in the car more than once, and Casper's has come to the rescue on multiple occasions.
They have. I actually locked my keys in my car 3 times in 3 months. Probably the worst time of my life, but Casper's came in clutch when I needed it.
Well, that's a very fine compliment there, and even better business. We'll take a quick break for 10 seconds to hear a word from our sponsors. Coming back up, it's the second half between Chucky-Doak and South Greene.
This is the Bachman Bernard Green Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing, brought to you in part by Terry's Flooring, Heritage Community Bank, Bayleton Drug Company, State Representative David Hawk, and 70 in Summer Coin Laundry.
Back and ready to go for a second half of football here. The wind is picked up. The black flag still flies, albeit the wind in the Chucky-Doak sails a little deflating in that first half. A big bounce back sure to come here for the second. Chris Osman, Matthew Palazzo saying hello and welcome back from Rebel Hill. Derek Tarleton, our fine producer on the evening. Scott Anthony showing you the beautiful imagery on your screen. If you're listening on 95.5 FM, WSMG, hello. We appreciate you for taking your time out as well on the radio airways. Starting up this second half, South Greene going to kick things off from right to left in the black jerseys. The ball falls off the tee.
Yeah, it just shows you that wind picking up.
It certainly does, and Brant Wilhoit puts boot to ball, and the second half officially underway from South Greene High School. Dom Honlin loses his footing on the following kickoff return, and another drive for the Black Knights that will start inside their own 15.
Yeah, it's definitely cooled off here up in Rebel Hill. It was really hot when we got here earlier today. I was really hoping it would cool off, and that wind's really picked up.
A beautiful day for football. You're right, it has cooled off, so even better weather. Man, we've enjoyed this warmer weather, but I love the fall season. Coming up this next week, supposed to get some cooler temperatures, and then midway through the season, week 6, we can finally say that we are halfway through the season. Been quite the ride so far.
Yeah, it's been awesome these past few weeks, and you every day you look forward to that next game that you're going to go get to commentate and watch the boys go out and battle on the football field.
Well, let's do it for this second half. Kipton Ball and Co. will break the huddle. 2 receivers out to Kipton's right. A receiver from the left in motion. It's a touch pass to Skylar Davis. He's got the edge and some juice past the 20-yard line. It's a 6-yard catch and run for Skylar Davis. Good play, productive play that puts the Black Knights in front of the chains. Their first play here in the third quarter.
You got the 3-3 there. You got Skylar Davis getting tackled by number 3 Trent Hayes, a name that we've called pretty often on this South Greene defense.
And you go with the jet touch pass there. It goes down as a completion. I like that call from Coach Kaler. Build some confidence in your sophomore quarterback, throwing his first interception of the season in that first half. Just continue to build it up slowly but surely in Kipton's confidence.
Yeah, I like that. And getting a couple new play calls. Some of them's worked, but some of them's not. So get that new play call, see what's going to work here.
Nice go quickly. They'll run it on second down. It's Braden Green in between the guards, and he gets stopped by who else other than Charlie Lane?
Yeah, the man of the night, the leader, the king of this defense. Really come to make a statement. This is Rebel Hill, and nobody's going to move on this South Greene team.
He's played so fast, so physically through those first 2 quarters, and he has played that middle linebacker position to perfection. And a big third down coming up for this Chucky-Doak offense. Want to avoid, they had 4 punts in that first half. Want to avoid that here on third and medium. Got to see a conversion here. Kipton Ball in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, look to his left. He'll fire one into Dom Atchison. He's got the line to gain and more. He'll get twisted around down near the 30-yard line. Big pickup there for a gain of 10 and another Marsh Propane first down.
Yeah, like you said, you take that jet sweep. Build in some confidence that counts as a completion, and then you need a big conversion there. You get your guy, Dom Atchison. He's been a big part of this offense, and you just go to work there.
And interesting to see Coach Kaler listening to some of your advice on the halftime adjustments. Put some air in that football. Air it out a little bit. Already 2 throws from Kipton Ball here to start the third quarter. Another snap. It's a handoff to Braden Green. Looking for the outside. He's got it. He'll make a cut up the middle on the right hash. Stumble forward for a gain of 19 on the play. Another Marsh Propane first down.
Yeah, that right there, that's what we waited on. That was the Braden Green from week 1 who put his first and second touchdown on the board, hitting the open holes. That's what we saw from that offensive line, creating those holes for Braden Green. And, that's what you want to see as Chucky Doak.
4 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks of the season, none in the last 2 games. Braden Green, an 18-yard carry to bring the Black Knights to the minus 48-yard line. Kipton Ball breaks the huddle, sends 3 receivers to the right boundary. He'll motion over Parker McMurray to the left side of the line of scrimmage. A handoff to Braden Green once again. He'll shoot the gap right up the middle. And another productive run on first down, this time to the tune of 6 yards. Bring up a 2nd and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, I love to see this Chucky Doak offense move. You just hate to see it come this late in the game. You're down 5 touchdowns, and so it's going to be a hard battle to come back. But your play calling's working here. You continue this. and then you have to have your defense step up in the second half to get some momentum swing.
Black Knights now into enemy territory after the first down tote by Braden Green. Dom Matchson back into the ball game as well. He and Skylar Davis will line up to the left. Dom Honlin to the boundary. Parker McMurray in at tight end. Atchison comes in motion. The snap, the handoff, met in the backfield. Trip Neese and Charlie Lane. A TFL between the two of them and a big stop on second down.
Yeah, South Greene really expected that. Even when Charlie Lane doesn't expect it, he gets there. And, he's quick, explosive. He finds the hole, or he makes the hole, and he gets there for that tackle for loss.
And Trip Neese, we haven't called his name a ton on the defensive side of the ball, but the few times we have, he's come in and he's made a couple of great plays off that outside linebacker position from the edge. Kicked in ball, looking to convert on another third down. Atchison in motion once again. It's a touch pass to him. He's got the edge for a moment, but then loses his footing. Had a Rebel staring him down in the backfield. That was Lucas Couch coming in from the corner position for South Greene. 4th and long here for the Knights.
And you love to see it, after that tackle there, that him falling down. South Greene picks him up. It's a rivalry. It's big things to win here, but you still got some sportsmanship out on the field.
Yes, love not too lost between these two. Coach Jones said, hey, we can be friends after the game, but I guess we'll settle for being friends in the third quarter as well. Dom Honlin to punt here for the Black Knights. That is how their first drive of the second half will result. And on the receiving end, it's bobbled by Trent Haynes. It falls behind him. He'll race back all the way inside his own 10-yard line and then get brought down hard by Spencer Nunley, making a play on special teams.
Yeah, man, that's been the guy of the night, and we talked about him on defense stepping up, and he said, I'm going to go that step further, and I'm going to step up on special teams. So what a way to get the momentum shift. You push them back against their own end zone. Now if you're the defense, you say, hey, the offense played fairly well. Now we got to go out there and play good.
Well, a couple Marsh Propane first downs, but a punt ultimately, and South Greene will have its first chance on the offensive side of the ball with 5.5 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Nash Rader still in at quarterback. Trip Neese, the featured tailback behind him. It's an end around. This time, Charlie Lane, he's got a gap. He'll shoot forward. He's got a man to beat. He's racing near side past the 50, inside the 40. Not going to catch him. Inside the 20, 10, goal line, touchdown, Rebels. Touchdown, Charlie Lane. 80-yard touchdown run on the end around, and the Rebels strike while the iron's still hot.
Man, if you're Coach Jones, what more can you ask from Charlie Lane? You tell him to step up on the defensive end, and he does, and then he says, hey, Coach, call my number on the offense and let me show you what I can do, and he takes off. What was that? Probably an 80-yard gain, man. Impressive run, impressive legs, impressive explosiveness by Charlie Lane.
80-yard touchdown run, and the Rebels romping the Black Knights 41-0. Under 5 to go here in the third quarter. Brant Wilhoit to attempt the point after, things just continuing to just uptick for the Rebels. They have shown no signs of slowing down. Wilhoit's point after is good. We'll step aside for a quick break. Your score with 4.5 left to go in the third. It's South Greene 42, Chucky-Doak 0.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac? From Bachman Bernard in Greenville. Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
Tommie's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job, from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommie's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommie's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
3.5 to go here in the third quarter. The Rebels on one play taking 80 yards, a house call on the end around from Charlie Lane from 80 yards out. The Rebel offense continues to stay scorching hot. They open up a 42-0 lead over the Black Knights. Will Hoyt will boot it away. Honlin takes it from the opposing 10-yard line. He's got an inch of space. He'll find it. He'll move left side, and he's running down the far sideline now, past the 40, and stepping out of bounds in between the 40 and 45. Good return there from Honlin, and good field position upcoming for the Black Knight offense.
Yeah, that's something to take off in this offense, let Kipton Ball do his thing. But, going back to that last play that we just saw by Charlie Lane taking to the house, that's one of my keys is that you've got to stay in your position and stay home in case the ball comes your way. And that's the perfect example of that end around. Everybody kind of shifted to that side of the field. Charlie Lane takes it off, and he's wide open.
And that was a great play design, too. They pulled the left guard, Bryce Crum, on the play. They faked the handoff to Neese, had the entire defense flowing, like you mentioned, and then Crum just escorting Charlie Lane. And he had the one man to beat. I believe it was Skylar Davis or Kobe Love. Penalty assessed on the Rebels here. That puts Chucky-Doak into plus territory, but just excellent play call, excellent execution.
Yeah, absolutely. They click on all cylinders, and it just goes to show they're up by a lot, but they're still playing their brand of football. So it's good to see what Chucky-Doak can do here on offense.
Ball breaks the huddles, twin receivers either side, a three-step drop. He'll look to his right now, left, over the middle, and it's picked off once again. Trent Haynes. Ditto, just like the first half. Trent Haynes, a big interception over the middle. The freshman coming away with his second takeaway of the ball game.
Man, what a read there by Trent Haynes, and he's in perfect position. You had, if you're Kipton, you had Dom open there on the drag route, but you want to get those extra yards. But Matthew, as a quarterback, you've probably had those games where you had a few successful games, and then you have this down game. How do you bounce back from that?
It's tough too on those throws over the middle, especially. Middle of the field is dangerous, especially late. Both of those played a factor on that play. He threw it over the middle late in the play. And you got guys dropping in coverage, coming down if you're safeties. Trent Hayes made a great play, but in terms of bouncing back, listen, they always say quarterback is a short-term memory position. Forget about it, move on, learn from it, but put it in the back pocket when you come out next drive, especially when you're playing in a big deficit like this.
Absolutely.
Trip Neese with the first down carry. He'll get tripped up for a gain of 5 on the play. Trip Neese, Nash Raider, that duo that they've been. But how about the play of Charlie Lane here tonight?
Yeah, man, he has been phenomenal. And, like I talk about, in these smaller schools, people have to play both sides of the ball. And, Charlie Lane's one of those, the senior leader here. And he's just been phenomenal on that offensive side of the ball and even more on the defensive side.
Trip Neese has his number called once again and continues to fight off tacklers, break a couple more, reach out beyond the line to gain for another Marsh Propane first down. Chris, this first down is brought to you by Marsh Propane. And whether you're tailgating on Friday night or keeping the lights on at home, Marsh Propane delivers the fuel you need to stay in the game. Marsh Propane, your hometown energy player.
When in doubt, you go to Marsh Propane.
Well, the running clock is in effect, and that will bring us to the quarter's end. We played through your score after 36 minutes. South Greene 42, Chucky-Doak 0. You're listening to the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
In Greenville, we blend beauty with Southern charm.
From sharp cuts to flawless color and perfect extensions, we make dream hair real.
As milkshake experts, we deliver exclusive treatments, glosses, and pro product advice. Finish your look with nails and waxing done with care.
Relax and recharge with our signature Japanese head spa.
Come experience the Main Brand difference.
At the Main Brand Hair Company,
we wrangle your tangles!
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
Running clock is in effect as we welcome you back from the break. 80-yard touchdown run from Charlie Lane, and a couple plays later, a big interception and takeaway from Trent Haynes, his second interception of the game so far. South Greene driving now at the Chucky-Doak 35-yard line. They'll send the backup quarterback in, the Rebels. That will be the freshman Dawson Ripley. First play will be a handoff to the left side off tackle. That'll be a stop in the backfield there from a couple Black Knight tacklers, namely our man, Gustavo Alvarez.
Yeah, Gustavo's been a big part of this defense, but, this game's been not close per se, but it's still been a fun one to watch. South Greene has not let up any, and I hope here putting in the young guys that Sean Jones continues to run his offense and let the young guys get a feel of what that starting offense is.
Ripley, the new signal caller, in for the Rebels as they nurse a 42-point lead. This time a handoff to Trent Haynes, called his name on the defensive side. This time he'll have his number called off the left tackle, and again met at the line of scrimmage there for no gain.
Yeah, I think that's well deserved. He's played his butt off on the defensive side of the ball, so I think it's very deserved. And give him on the offensive side, let him go to work and let him have some fun on that offensive side.
South Greene pitching a shutout through 3 quarters. Sean Jones, the mystic that he is, he told us about this thing. South Greene's defense has allowed less and less points week after week. Week 1, they allowed 26. Week 1, 17. Last week, 7 after allowing 10. He said this week, we're going to pitch a shutout or we're going to allow 3. So far, that much has served true.
Yeah, and you talk about how strong that defensive is, but even on the offensive side, you see they scored 22, 32, 44, and 56. So they just keep putting more and more points on the board. I know the running clock will be in effect here, but you may see them put more than 56 on the board.
Dawson Ripley with a completion there on 3rd down. It does bring up 4th and long. We might see the South Greene. Okay, it looks like the field goal unit is going to come out and try to attempt a field goal. The wind is in South Greene's favor. It's blowing left to right, so it's certainly against the back of Brant Wilhoit. This one will be a 45-yarder. The kick is up, and looks like it had the leg just off to the left. Field goal, no good, and Chucky-Doak will take over from their own 27-yard line.
Well, Coach Jones' key to the game was daggone, we got to win special teams, and you can't win if you don't play the special teams. So I like that call there to let his kicker get a leg.
I do too, certainly. Let's see what this Chucky-Doak offense can do after this quick break. We'll return in 30 seconds with 9:40 left to play in this one. 42-0, South Greene leading.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money. Green Sports Zone, in partnership with First Horizon Bank, presents the Bachman Bernard Green Sports Zone TV Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing. Once again, Matthew Palazzo.
9:42 left to play in this one. It's been a rout on Rebel Hill. South Greene 42, Chucky-Doak 0. Chucky-Doak has either punted or thrown an interception on all of their offensive drives. Still have yet to find that spark that they found in the second half against Unicoi.
Yeah, it's been a rough start and currently going, but we saw a lot of offensive power those first couple of weeks, and seeing them struggle here, it really hurts.
Coach Kaler going to leave the starters out on the field. Hatchton in motion. It'll be a handoff to Greene. He'll dart up the middle of the defense. Stiff armor defender racing towards that far sideline and fall forward for another Marsh Propane first down on the 12-yard carry. Good pickup there by Braden Greene. Will move the ball out to Chucky-Doak's own 32-yard line. And Braden Greene, though he hasn't had the touchdown today, he has certainly looked much better than we've seen him in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's definitely, like you talk about, you see some of your mistakes, you learn from them, you move on from them. I certainly think he's learned from them and moved on. That offensive line has stepped up to open some holes for him. Much improved Braden Greene from last week.
Gets the ball sent through, receivers out to his left, and a handoff will follow to Braden Greene. Dragging a tackler past the 35 down to the 37-yard line. That'll cut the to-go distance in half. They're bringing up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, seeing a lot of freshmen and sophomore play for the South Greene team, giving them those reps. You can get as much as you want in practice until you get out there on that game field, really get that experience of a good rivalry. I think that's what it takes to grow as individuals and grow as players.
Absolutely. And then you look at Chucky-Doak, they've got those young guys out on the field. They have a much younger roster who played in this game last year. They play in it this year with the County Cup up for grabs. Definitely a good learning experience for this Black Knights team. Very youthful and inexperienced across the board, really. Kicked ball on the spring out here, going to get sacked in the backfield by that South Greene defense. It's Noah Shelton, the sophomore, talking about underclassmen coming up and making big plays. Kicked ball sack there for a loss of 3. It's Shelton with a big stop on second down.
Yeah, we talked about these young guys in for South Greene, but I think they're playing just like their veteran guys are. That they know their role. They take those reps in practice. They know where to stay home, where to attack, and we're seeing that success play out here on the field.
Just under 8 to play here from Rebel Hill. 42-0 South Greene leading Chucky-Doak. And we'll see what Coach Kaler dials up here on 4th down. Braden Green, the pistol back. Tipped ball. A couple yards behind the center, Caleb Stamper. 3 receivers out to the right, and the whistles will blow it dead before anything can happen. The verdict, false start against the Knights. And Chris, a team that heavily penalized coming in, we talked about it, has made some strides here tonight. This is just their second penalty of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. They've looked well improved on the penalty side of the game, and so that's a big takeaway for Coach Kaler to say, hey, we struggled defensively, but we're getting better on that penalty game, and it's going to come down in late moments in games later in the season where you're going to want to not get penalties, and you're improving on it already.
Likely the only area of the game Chucky-Doak has a winning category in. Kicked ball, the 3-step drop, the pass over the middle. It's Holland, and it's intercepted. Brought down by the sophomore. Noah Shelton rises up, high points it, takes it out of midair. Take over Rebels.
Sad game to see from Kipton Ball. You talk about how poised and confident he is in that pocket. No interceptions leading up to today. And then he comes out and he throws 3. But one thing, I like Coach Kaler's trust in his quarterback. He's not giving up on his quarterback. This isn't, necessarily a big step back. Maybe it's just some things you've got to improve on and stay confident in your quarterback.
And obviously not the night that you want if you're Kipton or any Chucky-Doak player for that matter. But listen, the fact of the matter is you're down big late in games. You're going to take shots that you normally wouldn't take, and that is going to force you to put some balls in jeopardy, which is what Kipton has done for these last 2 possessions. They don't want anybody to see that number just dog the kid. I won't stand for that, right? He's a sophomore. He's going to learn from this. He's going to improve, and I think he'll be much better because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great quarterback, and like you said, he's really young, and he's got a lot to look forward to.
Dawson Ripley, the snap, the first down carry
for
the Rebels, and Trent Haynes stopped in the backfield. Hey, your guy, Braxton Lowe, with a big tackle for loss on first down.
Braxton Lowe, we talked about in week 1. He had the interception, a couple big tackles. He had some offensive yards put on it. We've not heard his name last week, but to see him back on the stat sheet's really big here for a freshman.
Big game last week as well. I mean, we were toying around with calling him the player of the game despite being in the losing effort, right? Ripley, another handoff to Haynes. Haynes right up the gut. Shot out of a cannon. Push forward for a gain of 12 on the play. Looks like he reached out and got the line of gain. A penalty flag flies in late. And it looks like it's going to go against the Chucky-Doak defense. Face mask is the call against Chucky-Doak. And that's going to move him forward for 15 more after the gain of 12 there by Trent Haynes.
I talk about, there's some things that it just struggles as a young guy. You get those false starts, you get those holding calls, but you get some of those face masks and unnecessary roughness. They're just penalties that we don't need, especially in a game like this.
Dawson Ripley will take the shotgun snap, hand it off to Trent Haynes off the left guard, and he's taken down right after he crosses the line of scrimmage. Calling a gain of 1 for Haynes and the Rebel rushing attack.
Really impressed with the young guys. They've come in. Coach Sean Jones trusts in his young guys to continue running offense. He doesn't need to change his play calls. You continue running up the middle, run to the outside, and they've well executed that and shown that they can step up just like the starters can.
Well, they've run their way all the way into the Gary's Paint and Body red zone, that's for sure. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Rebels from the Chucky-Doak 18-yard line. Dawson Ripley, freshman quarterback out there.
leading the charge for the Rebel offense in his relief of Nash Rader. He'll take this one, power to the left side. Ripley going to bounce off a defensive tackle.
Brought down by Gustavo Alvarez, the freshman.
Alvarez, a big stop. We've called his name a number of times here today. Chucky-Doak mixing up that defensive front here tonight. Spencer Nunley, Gustavo Alvarez, both with big days. Probably the biggest days defensively if you're Chucky-Doak.
Yeah, absolutely. You've had a couple standouts, and if you're Coach Kaler, you take those guys and you build on them next week, and find some other guys that can step up next week.
Rebels going to break the huddle. Under 3 to go, leading 42-0. Dawson Ripley, the backup signal caller in, will take the shotgun snap. Look to his left. He's got a man in the flats. Dom Atchison comes in and lays the stick. And breaking up the pass there on 3rd down. Looks like Coach Jones going to call for the field goal unit once again to come out. We saw last time out, Brant Wilhoit had the leg, just went a little to the left and missed that field goal from 47 yards out.
Yeah, it looked like a really good field goal spot, especially, from a high school or somebody who doesn't kick a lot, because Coach Jones, trusting his offense to stay on the field a lot. And so what a leg by him.
We saw Brant Wilhoit win the longest kick competitions back in the Greene County, Carter County Jamboree. That was back before the season even started. I feel like that's been forever ago. Brant Wilhoit to attempt the 30-yard field goal here, and this one a little wobbly. It misses for a second time, and your score stays South Greene 42, Chucky-Doak 0. We'll take a quick break. Return in 30 seconds, under 2 to play here from Rebel Hill.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale. We're not merging. We're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Well, 90 seconds left to go in this one. The running clock continues to dwindle down, and the Chucky-Doak offense out on the field, looking to correct some wrongs from that first half, and now into the second half even, looking for an inch of life, something you can take from today, take into the Sunday meetings, take into practice on Monday, just something to build upon. Timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here, Chris. Just where does Chucky-Doak go from here? Obviously, you start the season 3-0, 2 tough losses back-to-back now. It's got to be demoralizing, but I guess the silver lining in it all is you still got 4 region games left to play.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about when they were on that winning streak there that their schedule doesn't get any easier. It gets harder and harder almost every week, but, it's definitely tough as a coach to put up, almost 30 points a game, and then you come out here and you don't get any points on the board, but you take what little things you can. There's been some good run plays, some good gaps by your line. You take those into, your meetings and figure out how you can build from that.
South Greene, on the other hand, going in a complete opposite direction. They're now winners of 4 straight after this tunnel screen at the bottom of the field to Dom Atchison. He'll get wrapped up from behind, but will barrel forward for a gain of 15 and a Mars Propane first down.
I talked about, I think one of my keys was to throw the screen pass. And you see that, you throw the screen pass and you get open, you get some blocks, and, you get a bunch of yardage off of it. I think that's something maybe they could have worked in earlier in the play calls, and try to open that field up for Kipton, build him some confidence so when he does throw that deep ball, he's got a little confidence behind him.
Listen, I've been asking that same question for many, many years. Many years. Black Knights directly from the 50-yard line. Kipton ball takes the snap. Looking over the field, he's got Braxton Lowe. He'll run left to right.
Go
makes
Braxton,
a man
go.
miss. Far sideline inside the 20. Get wrapped up and thrown out of bounds. A gain of 32. And the freshman, Braxton Lowe, with a big conversion. Another Marsh Propane first down that puts the Black Knights into the Gary's Payne Body red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, a lot of people question here the running clock, the minute left. They're just going to kneel the ball in the game. But, Coach Kaler says, like you said, that we need something to take into next game. And I think that's very crucial for Chucky Doak to try to put some points on the board and have something to carry into next week.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break, step aside, return in 30 seconds after a quick word from First Horizon.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
A 32-yard reception by Braxton Lowe, and the Black Knights are into the Gary's Paint Body red zone for the first time tonight. Kipton Ball will take the snap. One of the last few plays of the ball game. He's scrambling around to the left now. He'll loft one up in the end zone. Left side, he had Atchison. And it gets dropped at the tail end. Had it for just a moment, but it slips out. Very nearly a touchdown, and what would have been the Black Knights' first score of the day with 10 seconds left. Great job by Kipton there buying time. Finding an open man in the end zone. Atchison just got to reel that one in.
Yeah, man, what a tough break for, Chucky Doak there. You don't get that score, but, I like to brag on Kipton Ball. You like to brag on Kipton Ball. I love that, maybe the play wasn't developing like you thought he was. He stays in the pocket, moves out a little bit, stays confident his receivers are going to get open, makes a good pass there.
How about that response? Threw those 2 interceptions in the third and fourth quarter, but big completions ever since. Gains of 15 and 32 yards. Almost a touchdown there from 17 yards out. Call it 16 yards out now. But here for what likely is going to be the last play of the day. Running clock is in effect. Certainly not how you wanted to come out and fare on a Friday night if you're Chucky Doak. South Greene has now won a clinch, at least, of the County Cup. I'm just going to go out and say they win the County Cup with a win here tonight. So South Greene will take the County Cup home. They'll dust it off and put it up on the shelf. Back to Rebel Hill it will go. For the first time since 2022, Kipton Ball making a little bit of magic here on second down and trucks the defenders out of bounds inside the 5, and the running clock will take us all the way to the buzzer. Complete dominance and a County Cup for South Greene. 42-0. They blank the Black Knights. A shutout. And Coach Sean Jones will hoist that County Cup high with South Greene victorious on a Friday night.
What a dominant performance by South Greene. And, they got out early and never looked back, and Chucky Doak struggled. They had some moments in the second half like they did against Unicoi, just couldn't put nothing together to get some points on the board.
Once again, your final score from Rebel Hill, it's South Greene defeating Chucky Doak 42-0. Rebels have now won 4 straight. They move their record to 4-1 on the season. Black Knights lose their second in a row. They fall out of standing with the County Cup, yes, but plenty of season left for the Black Knights and a Rebel team that's catching heat at the right stride, right in the middle part of the season. So we're going to take a break. Coming up on the other end of things, we're going to have a whole host of things for our post-game show, the Heritage Community Bank post-game show. It'll feature a scoreboard show, the player of the game, the scoring recap, and some scores from across the area. That's all when we come back. Once again, your final, South Greene 42, Chucky Doak 0. This is the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
This is the Bachman Bernard GSZ TV Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing. Brought to you in part by the 107 Tire and Service Center, the IHOP at the TA Travel Center, Exit 36 in Bayleton, Sweet Sports Tavern and Eatery, by Food City. So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
Tommie's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommie's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommie's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
Whether you ride, haul, or work, CNC has what moves you from dirt roads to job sites. We've got the gear to get you there. Hardworking equipment, helpful people, and honest advice. Whether you haul tools, toys, or livestock, CNC Custom Trailers has the equipment you need and the upgrades you want. CNC Custom Trailers, where you're more than just a customer, you're a neighbor.
Looking for a garage door without the long wait? At D&D Garage Door Supplier of Greenville, you'll find Safeway brand garage doors delivered in just 9 business days. Why wait 4 to 6 weeks when your new door could be rolling up sooner? They're your one-stop shop with over 25 years of experience, offering doors, parts, installs, and openers, including LiftMaster motors, overheads, and side mounts. Dealers, go check them out. They've got everything you need to get the job done right. Stop by 107 Bohannon Avenue or call 423-278-0622. D&D Garage Door Supplier. Reliable, trustworthy, and opening doors for you every day.
My dad was born here in 1933. The Terry family has been around East Tennessee since that time, almost 100 years now. Over the past 25 years of my career, I've had the opportunity to represent East Tennesseans all over the country. When we say, let our family help your family, we mean that. That is something we live by here at the Terry Law Firm. You have my word that we will represent your family just like you're part of our family.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale, we're not merging, we're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Once again, we welcome you back atop a windy Rebel Hill in the aftermath. South Greene defeats Chucky-Doak 42-0. They pitch their first shutout of the season. Their defense stays dominant. Their offense stays unstoppable. They run for over 300 yards tonight and continue just this unprecedented stretch here in the early season. Couple games, Chris, where this Rebel offense has done whatever it's pleased. That defense has had a backbone, to say the least. And tonight, Chucky-Doak's really the one that has to find it out the hard way.
Yeah, it was definitely a struggle bus for Chucky Doak, and not even necessarily because the way they played, just the team that they played. That South Greene team is just phenomenal in all aspects of the football, and what a time to come out to Rebel Hill for the first time and watch this South Greene team.
What a time indeed. And as we enter our Heritage Community Bank post-game show, wanted to take a look at the stats. We'll start with Chucky-Doak, shut out, but you look at the mirror image almost of a week ago. Sloppy first half against Unicoi County, sloppy first half here tonight. Last week they were able to get things going, end up putting up 28 points against the Blue Devil defense that was also pretty stout. Tonight, not as fortunate. They get blanked through 4 quarters of play. An offense that just wasn't quite able to get things going. Kipton Ball finished the day 5 of 14, 91 yards, no touchdowns. Throws his first interceptions of the season tonight, and a receiving attack who is led by Dom Atchison. He finishes the day with 39 yards through the air on his 3 catches. He's the leading pass catcher. Braxton Lowe also hauls a reception in for 32 yards. Looking at the rushing attack for Chucky-Doak, I guess a positive takeaway from today, you get Braden Green back on track. It was good to see him tote the rock a couple of times here tonight. He finishes the day with 11 carries for 53 yards. That's his night, the junior, getting back on track where he's been a little held in check for the past 2 weeks. And then Marcus Britt, no rushes in that second half, but finishes with 6 carries for 17 yards. Chris, an offense that didn't have their best stuff tonight, but much of that is due to that South Greene defense and their stellar performance here tonight.
Yeah, it's tough, but no matter what the score says, I think Chucky-Doak has some things that they can carry into next week. You had that slow first start, but that second half, you picked up a couple things. But the defense, it's hard to stop that run game. You talked about over 300 rushing yards South Greene put on them, but they come away with 31 total tackles, and leading that aspect in total tackles was Marcus Britt with 5, but the guy of the night on that Chucky-Doak defense was Spencer Nunley. He has 4 tackles, 2 of those being a tackle for loss. Gustavo, our freshman guy, he had 3 tackles. Lance Turner Armstrong, a name we've not called a lot, he had 2. And then Braxton Lowe and Dom Atchison both had a couple tackles under their belt. And so overall, they made a couple good tackles. It's just, man, I've yet to see someone really stop that South Greene run game.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at a season in a 2-week span, you fared better defensively than North Greene did last week. A Rebel offense that put up 400 rushing yards a week ago, over 500 total yards on offense. Tonight, not as many, but certainly just as efficient. Nash Rader, just an incredible showing out of him. 1 for 3 through the air for 35 yards. On the ground is really what stood out to me here tonight. Just an incredible game. 12 carries, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground for the Rebels' standout senior quarterback, Nash Rader. He accounts for 138 on the ground. They rush for 232 rushing yards in that first quarter. They finished with 337 total rushing yards after a 105 mark in that second half. Also leading the charge, first I got to see Trip Neese here this season. He looked excellent as well. I was really pleased with the way he ran the ball as well. They asked him to do more of the physical rushes in between the tackles. That's to be expected, but 13 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns for Trip Neese, Chris. A balanced attack. You also had Charlie Lane, who was a force offensively. We'll start with his offensive numbers, and then you can take it away on defense. But Charlie, three touches today, 2 carries for 88 yards on the ground, and then a catch for 35 yards. He was also pretty dominant defensively as well.
Yeah, man, that offense, like you talked about, the run game is unstoppable, but it's not one guy. It's 2, 3, 4 guys that you can give the ball to, and they can make something happen. But going to that defense, they accounted for 29 total tackles, and I think what separated them from that Chucky-Doak defense, they had 5 tackle for losses. They got to that backfield. They made things happen. And of those 5 tackles for losses, our guy, Charlie Lane, he had 4 of those. He ends up with 10 total tackles. And then you've got the freshman, Trent Haynes. He comes away with 2 interceptions, 4 tackles. And then there at the end, you've got Noah Shelton, the sophomore, comes in that second string. He has a tackle with an interception. So overall, they played well defensively. But Charlie Lane was that leader of that defense, and nobody could really tell him what to do out there.
Unquestionable. And Trent Haynes, a big night for him as well. The freshman, 2 interceptions, like you said. That'll do it for our statistical portion of the Nick Hershey Cardinal Financial scoring recap. I wanted to take a look at the drive chart as our scoring recap continues, though, because it is pretty eye-opening. For South Greene, we saw them a week ago not attempt a punt. They didn't punt the ball. And tonight, they didn't attempt a punt either. But they did do this. Touchdown, touchdown, turnover on downs, touchdown, touchdown in the first half. So 4 or 5 touchdowns in the first half. Second half, just 3 drives, touchdown, and then the 2 missed field goals at the end. Again, another week where you don't punt the ball. I mean, I guess Brant Wilhoit got out there a couple of times, but if you're Brant, you got to be like, Coach, let me punt the ball away. But you didn't really have to again for a second straight week.
Yeah, I think, like you talked about, you really didn't have any opportunities. You had the one there on 4th and 10. You hard count them, you move the ball up, and you put yourself in a good spot where you can go for it on 4th down. Sean Jones is, a man of all, and he can, he has that confidence in his players, and I think that's what helps him stand out on the offensive side. He trusts his guys that whether it's 1st and 5 or 4th and 5, I'm confident in my guys to get that first down.
Absolutely, and then you look at Chucky-Doaks and how they fared offensively in that first half. 6 drives, 4 of which ended in punts, the 1 interception, the one that took the possession to the end of the half. And then that second half, 4 drives, 2 of which ended in South Greene takeaways, the 1 punt, and then the one that went to the end of the half as well. That will do it for our Nick Hershey Cardinal Financial scoring recap. Coming up next in our Heritage Community Bank post-game report, we'll take you around the region, some local scores to update you on in our Friday night scoreboard. That's coming up next here from Rebel Hill.
In Greenville, we blend beauty with Southern charm.
From sharp cuts to flawless color and perfect extensions, we make dream hair real.
As milkshake experts, we deliver exclusive treatments, glosses, and pro product advice. Finish your look with nails and waxing done with care.
Relax and recharge with our signature Japanese head spa.
Come experience the Main Brand difference.
At the Main Brand Hair Company,
we wrangle your tangles.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in.
Hello and welcome back to the Heritage Community Bank post-game show where South Greene reigns victorious on Rebel Hill tonight, 42-0. South Greene has now won 4 straight. They improved to 4-1 on the season. Chucky-Doak loses its 2nd straight, and they will fall to 3-2. South Greene clinches at least a share, and they own the tiebreaker of the County Cup, so you can pick it up, dust it off, put it back up top Rebel Hill. South Greene has won another County Cup, back where it stood in 2022. Got a couple of local games to update you on as we enter our Friday night scoreboard section of the post-game show. We'll start with Greenville. Greenville has been on an absolute tear offensively this year, that is to say the least. Today they go up to Sullivan East, and they just had their way with the Patriots. 42-0 they led at the end of one half. Trying to find an update for you in that game. We'll come back to that, though. Tyler Nichols reports from Eagleton Academy. West Greene falling to Eagleton Academy to the tune and a final of 47-15. Tough start for the Buffaloes, 0-5 start to the year after dropping 1 to Eagleton. Also, an update from Baileyton, one of interest. Mark Brooks report, hey, North Greene led 7-0 at one point. Cosby stormed back. They scored 13 unanswered to take a 13-7 lead at the halftime break. Since then, North Greene has put up 28 straight. They now lead at 35-13 after a Leon Johnson rushing touchdown from 31 yards out. So excellent stuff there. And Chris, you had some other games in the region that you wanted to update on us.
Yeah, that Cherokee game, Cherokee, we talked about averages almost 50 points a game. Halftime, they're getting held by Elizabeth in 24-0. Claiborne, Johnson County. Claiborne leads at the half 14-6. We've got West Ridge has beaten Daniel Boone 14-0. My alma mater didn't expect any less. Dobbins Bennett's up 35-0 on them in the fourth quarter. That Unicoi County has come back in the fourth quarter. They lead 23-20 against Happy Valley.
Wow.
Granger has been up 8-0 the whole game. They're still up 8-6. Cocke County holds it close against Science Hill. 54-0's the final there. Sevier County, nobody's still been yet to touch them. They're up 55-7.
Hey, big matchup next week, Greenville-Sevier County.
Very big game. Greenville's probably the only team that I would say can hold on to Sevier there. And then my Sunbright Tigers can't come together. They're down 23-6 at halftime against Oakdale. And then at halftime with the two 0-4 teams, Hancock County, Unaka, it's 13-0. Hancock County leads on the road.
A battle of, what's the opposite of unbeatens? Unvictorious, we'll call it. Looking for their first win of the season. Hey, that'll do it for our Friday night scoreboard. Coming up, Chris Osman going to give us our 107 Tire and Service Center player of the game. That's when we return to our Heritage Community Bank post-game report.
At Food City, we make it easy for you to shop your way. Order online and pick it up curbside, or have it delivered straight to your door with Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now, get it straight from our doors to yours.
One thing we all have in common is the need for a good running vehicle. Here at 107 Tire and Service Center, we make that achievable with our affordable prices on repairs. Our certified techs equipped to work on any major or minor repair from brakes to engine replacements, and we offer high quality parts and a 12-month or 12,000-mile parts and labor warranty on most repairs. Come and see us at 6256 Irwin Highway in Chuckey, Tennessee, or give us a call at 620-4970.
Once again, we welcome you back to the Heritage Community Bank postgame show, where South Greene reigns victorious over county rival Chucky-Doak. 42-0, our final here. And as we continue our postgame report, so many players, Chris, to pick from on that South Greene roster. So many standouts. And I know, listen, I know you lock your keys in your truck. You call Casper's. They help you out. They're great people over there. But if you ever have a tire and service need, you take it straight to 107 Tire and Service Center. They're tremendous people. They help you out. They get the job done. So, hey, knock on wood here. If you do have a flat, you can go to them. So your car troubles, need not worry. You got a guy or several guys in 107 Tire and Service Center. Who is our 107 Tire and Service Center player of the game, Chris?
Yeah, there was a lot of people to choose from. You got 11 players on defense, 11 players on offense to choose from. But what am I talking about? It's Charlie Lane. He played phenomenal on offense and defense. Mainly the defensive side of the ball, had 10 tackles, double digits with 4 tackles for loss. You give him the ball 3 times on offense, and he almost goes the length of the field with 88 yards and a touchdown. I mean, no other guy than Charlie Lane. We saw him make big hit stick plays that really riled up his defense. I mean, he was the leader of this game.
Charlie Lane certainly got the memo that there was a rivalry game to be played tonight. And that South Greene roster also got the memo. They came out hard hitting. Charlie Lane, I think that 80-yard touchdown run, maybe the turning point in the ball game, one in which South Greene just didn't look back any further from. And not a turning point in South Greene was struggling up until then, but that was the point in which they really put the ball game away.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like you said, they never really were struggling. They came out early, the first 2 possessions, put points on the board, but you know, it's still a ball game at that point. But yeah, that Charlie Lane touchdown really just kind of sealed the deal in a sense.
Once again, Charlie Lane, our 107 Tire and Service Center player of the game. Once more, we'll take one more break. When we come back, our final thoughts from Rebel Hill as the Heritage Community Bank post-game show comes to a close.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale. We're not merging. We're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
At Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
And for one final time, we welcome you back atop Rebel Hill to conclude our Heritage Community Bank post-game show, where South Greene defeats Chucky-Doak 42-0. The Rebels roll and they run the ball effectively for a second straight week, maybe even a fourth straight week. They get their fourth consecutive victory. They improved to 4-1 on the season. Chucky-Doak now 3-2. Let's take a look at where these two teams will play next week, and then we'll get into some other matchups to keep an eye on. South Greene winning the 51st all-time meeting between the two schools tonight. They continue their dominance in the series, now winners of 7 of the last 8. Chucky-Doak has not fared well in the rivalry as of late, but taking a look at where these two teams will go from here. For Chucky-Doak, I'm going to say it again, the schedule continues to be glaring. But I think you actually have some winnable games here these next 3 weeks. Johnson County at home. You have a 3-game homestand, so that certainly helps. But Johnson County Friday, September 26th, and then you'll have Claiborne and Volunteer before ending the season in a 2-game road stretch at Pigeon Forge and at Gatlinburg-Pittman. A couple winnable games there, and it's good that you have a couple games at home, too, to get some confidence underneath you.
Yeah, I definitely think coming home, especially after a tough loss like this, you come back home behind your home fans, let them rally you up. And like you said, I think early on in the season, we didn't expect this from Chucky-Doak, and you think these are even harder games. But I think, like you said, Chucky-Doak definitely has some winnable games coming up at home.
And then South Greene, on the other hand, they improved to 4-1, and they'll play their first region game of the year next week, where they go on the road to West Greene. The Milk Can game, and that is when we will see the Rebels hoist the Milk Can trophy, potentially also the County Cup as well, with a win next week at West Greene. Then you got that 3-game road stretch, West Greene being one of them, and then at Cumberland Gap for another region game at Concord Christian before you end the season at home against Eagleton Academy and Happy Valley. That Happy Valley showdown looks more and more like it could determine the region. Any thoughts on that and the remainder of the South Greene schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. I think South Greene's come out and played phenomenal these first few games. And, we talked about Chucky-Doak has that 3-game home stretch. South Greene's got that 3-game road stretch. Definitely going to be tough, but I think, they've got some very winnable games to finish out this season. And, like you said, that Happy Valley game, that might be the win it all. But I think that South Greene can be very prepared for that.
So South Greene now 4-1 on the season, winners of 4 straight. They'll be on the road, on the range next week at West Greene. Chucky-Doak, on the other hand, they'll look to reel after a second consecutive loss at home next week against Johnson County. A couple other games that should be on your radar. They are certainly on the horizon tonight. Greenville-Sullivan East is yet to be determined, but Greenville running away with it. North Greene-Cosby also in a good one. The finish of that game over on 103.1 WIKQ, so go check out that one and its conclusion from Bayleton. Also, tomorrow, UT, UAB, Trent Dilfer. I love Trent Dilfer. He'll make the trip to Knoxville as UT will look to continue and bounce back after that loss last week against Georgia. Coverage begins at 12:45 on 103.1 WIKQ. And also, revenge game for me, Chris. Tusculum, Emory, and Henry. Brian State and I will give you the call at 1 o'clock on 95.5 WSMG. Kickoff at 2. If you make it to the game, make it out to Pioneer Field. Should be a good one between the Pioneers and the Wasps. And then next week, we save it every broadcast, Chris. Thursday, big game, Greenville-Sevier County. That's huge, especially after the results of tonight. Both teams undefeated. Both teams in state contention this season. That's a monster showdown next Thursday. It'll be broadcast to you live on 99.5 WGRV. And then also next Friday, another big matchup, North Greene at Hampton, 2 of the heavy hitters in Region 1 at Single A, and that will be broadcast on 103.1 WIKQ and WGRV as well. Next week, though, the Bachman-Bernard Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing, will be South Greene at West Greene. The Milk Can game, the County Cup determinant. It is South Greene, West Greene next week, right here from First Horizon Green Sports Zone. And we will be at Hampton. They'll play at Happy Valley, but it's at Hampton for all intents and purposes for that North Greene Hampton. Could very well decide the region after a big win tonight for the Huskies if the results hold over Cosby.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very big game. North Greene's look very confident in a bounce-back game from South Greene, and they just want to, continue running down on their opponents.
All right, Chris. First trip to Rebel Hill in the books. How was the experience overall?
It was wonderful. I came in, and all the fans were greeting me and, with smiles, and something you don't see anymore in today's time. But it was a great experience to be on Rebel Hill. Definitely would say that I'd come back.
Well, that will do it for us in our broadcast here tonight. Once more, your final score at South Greene 42, Chucky-Doak 0. It takes a village here behind the scenes for our entire crew here tonight from First Horizon Green Sports Zone. Scott Anthony on the camera, Derek Tarleton, our fine producer here this evening, the best dressed man in Greene County, Chris Osman. I'm Matthew Palazzo, saying so long, good night, God bless, from Rebel Hill.
Green Sports Zone, in partnership with First Horizon Bank, presents the Bachman Bernard Green Sports Zone TV Game of the Week, presented by Tommie's Plumbing. Brought to you by Bachman Bernard Chevy Buick GMC Cadillac. At Bachman Bernard, they go the extra mile to see you smile. By Tommie's Plumbing. If you've got a leak, let Tommie take a peek. The Marathon Quick Stop Markets. Run in when you run out. CNC Custom Trailers, where you're more than just a customer, you're a neighbor. Gateway Ford Nissan. Buy local and save thousands at Gateway Ford Nissan. D&D Garage Door Supplier. Reliable, trustworthy, and opening doors for you every day. Casper's Wrecker Service. Providing quick towing to East Tennessee since 1992. Open 24 hours a day. Tusculum Body Shop since 1963. Come see them for all your auto body needs. Sweet Sports Tavern and Eatery. Score a seat at Sweets, where fans become family. Main Brand Hair Company. Go experience the Main Brand difference. Food City. Value every day. The Terry Law Firm. The Terry Law Firm fights for you. Small town firm, big city know-how. Terry's Flooring. Add value to your home by seeing Popsy and his team. The 107 Tire Center, your neighborhood tire and auto experts. The IHOP at the TA Travel Center, exit 36 in Bayleton. 70 and Summer Coin Laundry, Greenville's first in class laundromat. State Representative David Hawk, proud, unwavering, conservative